Yeah. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. OnChain Revolution, you're not bullish enough. Every day we steady looking at the market, and we gon' tell you how to get started. Chain abstraction, fear and greed index, always looking at price action. Broke on advance, you don't even gotta mention. I swap it in the decks, you're not bullish enough. Traded in the sex, you ain't trenching enough. We do that market recap. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to rehab. Shizzy and Joggle beat. OnChain Revolution, network in the art. Every day we go live, baby, you know where we are. We mention all the networks and the crypto. Need some more liquidity, flipping and trading is the recipe. Too many protocols to count. I get high and I'm never coming down. Number go up, then I'ma say peace. Yeah, you thought that I was gonna leave. Yeah, we just getting started, man. OnChain Revolution. Every day. Bring the beat back. Eyes everywhere, gotta be careful with volatile meme coins. You can get some bread if you round trip it, then you gon' regret. All this information in my head. BYOR, touch grass instead. Nobody really knows how it's gonna end up today. Somebody gotta tell you what's happening today. I don't let the money change me, no way. OnChain Revolution, here to stay. Yeah, say I'm Sage, man. Voodoo 2 on the way. Yeah, Nicky's. Yeah, OnChain Revolution. OnChain. Hey, OnChain Revolution. Bitcoin not an illusion. Market recaps and I do a roll call. You're not bullish in the vocal. Look at the price action, chen. Yeah, send it to the deck. Yeah, sell it through the stack. Ordinal's the best. Too much Bitcoin, gotta go to read. If you end up bearish, gotta put the knee pad. Let me see the comments. Look at the fear and greed index. Bridge. Look at the chart.
Welcome back to OnChain Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin and crypto ecosystems. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. We're live for another OnChain hour, and this one is going to be, I think it's going to be good, but you guys might not feel that way because of the prices that's going on right now, right? So what is happening in the markets, in my opinion, is the final dip before the rip, the final push down before we rip to all-time highs. I think what's going to come in April. Some people are saying May. Comatose Crypto is saying May 25th. I don't know, guys. I'm not a fortune teller. I just go by feeling, and I still feel that the bigger players in the game are still very bullish while retail is scared running away. And this is kind of what they want. They want you to sell your crypto to them super cheap. This is the game they play. They can last a lot longer than we can, right? Because they got the money, the funds. They don't care. They will wait until it's possible. But I just can't. I just don't see them waiting. They like to take summer off, right? They like to sell in May and go away. They like to be gone all summer. So I just can't see them just pushing this sideways market all the way to June. I just don't say it. I just don't say it. I refuse to believe that that's the plan. I feel like they're going to push the price up in April, maybe highly manipulate it, impossible. Push the price up in May, again, could be highly manipulated, and then dump it in June, possibly, right? But we'll see. A lot of other people are saying we're going to have a bullish summer because people don't have money to sell in wet and sell in May and go away with. So I don't know, guys. I'm not a fortune teller. I'm just a crypto guy who loves Bitcoin, and I'm going to be here forever, right? I'm going to keep digging in these markets forever. I'm going to keep finding opportunities for you and us, right? So that's kind of the play here. I'm curious what Yago B thinks about all this. So without further ado, let's bring him in without my boy right here, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up?
What's up, man? How are you feeling like me? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. The price action definitely dipped overnight with Bitcoin, but we got to remember that options are expiring today. So TradFi is doing TradFi things. I mean, yes, it's the crypto markets, but like this option type of game is more kind of carried over from TradFi. So, probably some of this price manipulation. So if we take a dip, I don't think it's going to be a permanent one. But like you said, we're not fortune tellers. All we can do is play off of kind of the sentiment and what we've seen in terms of momentum, right? And we did have some momentum start off. Seems like it's breaking down a little bit, but let's see what happens over the weekend.
Yeah, the weekend's gonna be really telling. I think Sunday. I think Sunday between 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. Eastern is gonna be really telling for what happens next week. Obviously, we know that April 2nd is the Trump tariff day, but you're seeing right now is a lot of countries taking down their tariffs so we don't hit them with a tariff, right? So meaning EU said they're potentially going to zero for at least a month or two until so the US doesn't tax them, right? So if we're going to see countries do this, they're going to be like, oh, well, all you got to do is drop your tariff on us and there is no tariff on you. Right, because they're reciprocal. Obviously, he did say 25% on all vehicles. So places like Germany, who does BMW, Japan, who does Honda, and so on and so on, the big countries with the bigger cars, they're going to have issues, but they can also build here in the US for US customers and then ship everyone else from their Japan or Germany places. So there's different ways getting around this tariff stuff, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I think the big bad wolf right now isn't as big and bad as people are thinking he is.
I agree with that 100%. And it is completely a strategic step that he's taking to bring manufacturing for the auto industry back here. And like you said, they have ways around it. I believe it was Honda opened a facility in Indiana, or they're going to,
Yeah.
right? They're planning on it. So it's working to bring some jobs here. But let's see how it plays out, because the ones that are going to be interesting to me are going to be like the luxury brands, right? Like the European, BMW, stuff like that, Mercedes. See how that works out if they actually bring any type of factories and stuff over here. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Ferrari said we're going to charge 10%, and it's like, oh no, 200,000 car is now $220,000 car, right? Like, it's like,
people that are
whatever,
buying
dude.
those probably won't care too much.
No, not at all, not at all. All right, let's jump into the stuff here. We got GME, GameStop down 24% on the day, $2.95 billion wiped out from shareholders just like that. So it is, in my opinion, it's being really manipulated. I mean, you don't usually have this type of stuff. Obviously, so GME announced that they're going to be raising $1.3 billion, potentially buy Bitcoin. That normally will push down your stock unless your name's Michael Saylor. In Michael Saylor's way, when he dumps stock on people, they just buy it up, right? But they're not doing that with GameStop, and it does look like the short sellers are coming in, and they're saying this can only really happen with naked shorts. This is the reason why GameStop got destroyed last time, and then the short sellers got destroyed later by the meme traders, right? So what do you think about all this? Do you think GameStop has anything to do with crypto and kind of what this push down means for us?
Yes, so I actually think this is, an opportunity. We were talking about this pre-show that TradFi sees right now, right? Because they don't have that foundation that, a MicroStrategy or strategy with the new brand built up since like 2022 in terms of, bringing on Bitcoin into their treasury or just having that foundation, right? And so at the time, I don't think a lot of TradFi people were trying to think, oh, this is an opportunity for MicroStrategy, because like it just wasn't like GameStop has this like thing about like obviously TradFi shorting it and then retail trying to rebel, and obviously that doesn't work anymore. We saw that whenever deep values came out I will say like a year ago. So that doesn't work anymore. But what can happen is a foundation gets built over time, right? And they start to, because the leadership at GameStop isn't worried about this kind of stuff anymore. You know what I mean? About the price going down and all that stuff, because they have their plan. But I do think that in the future, it's not going to be as easy as taking advantage of it now. But that might take like a year and a half, 2 years to build that foundation of like them continually acquiring Bitcoin and as kind of a fail safe, and actually give them some more solid foundation.
Yeah, and to your point, they have no Bitcoin, right? Like right now, anyway, right? There's a plan to buy some, but they don't really have any right now. So they're not a Bitcoin company yet. But in the next 6 months, that all might change when they, let's just say in the Q3 they take out another loan potentially to buy Bitcoin. You might see the price skyrocket because of it, because they have how well they've done to that point. So but we'll see.
Yep.
But one thing I did want to hit on, it wasn't in the game plan, but gold back at a new all-time high today. It does look like a double top though, right? So the all-time high right now is around 30.86. Dude, look at this chart. This is what I want to see from Bitcoin. But oh my goodness, but it does look like a double top, right?
Yeah, on the hour chart, right? So this is this is a great day. You can see our great couple of days for gold, just coming up here. But yeah, it does look like a double top there. So it could continue down and start going the other direction. But I don't know. The momentum seems pretty solid for gold this past week, and really kind of just every once in a while this year. Really, I feel like this first quarter of 2025 has been pretty favorable for gold holders, right? It's not like crushing it like ridiculous for like a month straight, but it's like steady up. You know what I mean? And now we've seen like the all-time high. Yeah, I mean that does look good. That does look good. I'm not gonna lie. That's the daily chart. My God,
this is the daily now, yeah. But this is kind of where Bitcoin looks, doesn't it? Doesn't Bitcoin look very similar to this? Like, are we about to see this? Are we about to see a little delay? A little delay? Follow that gold?
Hopefully.
I don't know. Hoping. Hopes and prayers. All right. So more than 353 million liquidated from cryptocurrency market in the last 24 hours. Pretty nuts. But let me ask you something. Obviously, the exchanges are running stuff, right? The exchanges are making this money. The exchanges made 353 million because you're betting kind of with the exchanges. This information comes from the exchanges, right? So do you think that they need to push this money first, kind of clean everything up first before they take it up?
You mean the exchanges and the market makers clear all the leverage out?
Exactly.
That's how they win. That's how they play, house casino is by doing that. But that's always going to be there, right? So as much as we look at Wintermute as this big bad wolf, obviously we don't like it because they're the ones that are liquidating everybody, right? So it hurts. But at the same time, no matter what, if it's time to go up, they're gonna flip the switch, right? So I think it's more of an overall thing, and they're gonna constantly take advantage of those liquidation levels on the way up to. You might not be able to stop the momentum once things get crazy, but like there will always be a moment of, okay, it went up really aggressively, and then now there's this new level, and then it's gonna hit like stop losses and liquidate that level, that area, right, as much as they can until the next jump up. And so this is just a part of the game, and I imagine that they're making so much money right now because we're constantly seeing headlines like this. 353 million liquidated in 24 hours. Gone. And that's why I do miss the playing the options in TradFi, because you at least don't get liquidated. You can feel like you are the closer to your option expiration date, but you at least like have that timeline. You know what I mean? And so I don't know.
Can you play options with a Bitcoin ETF?
So I'm pretty sure you can, and Bitcoin has options too, but they're not as favorable as like TradFi stocks, right? Like you can go 2 years out and like you'll get better deals and stuff like that. With Bitcoin, it's shorter term because it's so volatile. They don't want to just like lose easily if there's supposed to be this huge thrust up or bear markets here.
Makes sense, yeah. All right, Benjamin Cohen. Haven't talked about him in a while, but he's the guy who knocks on your door and says, "Can I talk to you about Bitcoin dominance?" Right. So he's like the Bitcoin witness, the Bitcoin dominance witness. So he had this post today. He likes to shove it in everyone's face every time he's right. And he's been right. I don't know. In my personal opinion, he's been right since January 2022. He said, if you plan on buying an altcoin, take a cold shower first, and I should have taken many cold showers. Well, I don't know. Ordinal said really well, so I don't know. But he said, excluding stables, Bitcoin dominance is now 66.76 of the asset class. So Bitcoin is 2/3 of crypto now, not including stablecoins. That's insane. It's
insane how long it's lasted for. And there really hasn't been, I think the closest it got was like 54%, maybe in like beginning of Q4 of last year or something. but then like it's really just stayed above 60. I feel like for a long time. I mean, or high 58s at least, and
Yeah.
so I mean, when is it going to start to let down? I don't know, but I am starting to get like a feel of like these alts, like because we there's still like pockets of the alt market and
Yeah.
different ecosystems that like will thrust up, whether that's
Mhm.
AI, whether that's like like a new pump fund like Odin for like a week or so, but realizing that like in those they're going to be very short lived right now until like we are like officially back, right? Meaning
Yeah.
Bitcoin's running strong, Ethereum's actually bouncing back and stuff like that. Then some of those like playgrounds that we're only seeing just do like little pop-up like success kind of a week or so, that
Yeah.
then some of those that have established communities or established coins can really get to that next level. But until then it's going to be PvP.
We did mention Ethereum, so I got to hit on this. This is from Alex Thorne, someone I follow. He says ETH BTC made fresh lows. So as you can see, this chart's from 2021. This is Bitcoin ETH price in Bitcoin value. We've had it hit a new low at 0.0224. This is the lowest Ethereum's been against Bitcoin since the last cycle, right? Since 2021, early 2021, because this is January, right? Boom. So maybe you can even say late 2023. Or I'm sorry, late 2020. Right. So, but yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. Michael Jackson, bro.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. That's for sure. Going back to that, what 4 years ago. So, look, Ethereum still hasn't even, yeah, it got to 4,000 right last year,
Yeah.
but we've seen that before, and we just need to see something that we haven't seen before with Ethereum in terms of price discovery, and we just haven't seen it, right? So we know
Yeah.
that that's going to be one of those indicators that says, I think that people will start to feel pretty damn good if Ethereum hit 5,000, 5,200, something like that, because they'll
Yeah.
be like, oh wow, okay, it feels here.
Yeah, for sure. So the next thing is ETH is having the worst Q1 ever. So that I had a chart here, this script for your boy Crypto Rover. So he basically has this chart. We've been looking at this too. We look at the Bitcoin version of this, but the Ethereum version is pretty bad looking. Let me show you. Here it is. So January 1%, February 31%, March 10%. So we're about 41% lower than we were in December. What the hell, man? Like, I want to see this. I want to see this. What are you thinking, man? This hasn't been this bad ever. Like,
Yeah,
ever.
but like whenever you're playing roulette and you're
Yeah.
hitting black like over and over, but you're like
Yeah.
and you're betting red, and you're at like three blacks in a row, and you're like, it's got like statistically it's gotta, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm glad that it's front loaded, right? So
Yeah.
meaning like if you look at the rest of the year, we got three reds that don't look great.
Yeah.
I mean, our chances are decent that like we're gonna have some months that really pop for it. Where is that gonna be? Because imagine every month being red. That would just be like the worst nightmare ever, right? But heading into April, May, I expect one of
Yeah.
these months to be green for Ethereum. First green month. I hope it's April, but if April's red, I would very be confident that May would be green
Yeah.
for Ethereum.
Well, let's kind of look back to, I know this is not a lot of data, but 2016, you had 3 months of red, right? And then 2016 was a halving year, right? So we had 3 months of red going into the end of the year, then followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green months, right? That's possible, right? 2017, we know, was a year after the halving. Kind of reminds us here. Are we delayed a little bit? Are we just kind of maybe feeling this before we feel this?
Possibly, but that's weird too. Like it's heading into 2017, so you saw that January kind of. Yeah, I mean, it could be pushed back, right? Because we had this election, we had BlackRock enter the game. A lot of things changed in 2024. But I'm looking at
who was
28.
president in 2016 though, right?
Yeah.
Who came in?
Yeah. But like if you look at it in 2016, you had March,
Yeah.
you know, green, then April, and then you had one good May, or you had
Yeah.
May, and then the three. So that could happen.
Yeah.
That could happen, like to where you know, one of two, April or May, are green, kind of like what I just said, and then the summer be down, and then but then it wouldn't play out that way, in my opinion, for Q4, because that Q4 looks horrible in 2016.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at 2018, and you see one in the middle where it starts in the summer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that looks like the worst stretch, at least,
Yeah.
of consecutive months, right? So, you know, we'll see. It's going to be very interesting to see how April plays out. If we
Yeah.
start off pretty strong, or if we start off a little weak and end strong. I would like to have April be the green month, because then I feel like if April can be a green month, then May could also follow that. We get 2 in a row, and then kind of go away for the summer a little bit.
It feels opposite. Look at this, right? So it was like pretty, pretty same, and then the opposite of each other in February of last year, February of this year, kind of opposite each other in March, right? So what if we just repeat but an opposite? So April should be 18% green. I mean, if we want to, and then May negative 25%, right? But then we have a nice summer. I don't know, man.
Yeah, getting a green month in April though would definitely feel like a fresh breath of air. I feel like for Ethereum,
yeah, 100%.
you know, it needs it.
Yeah, for sure. Just have so much stuff on here today. That's why I kind of a little bit backtrack to make sure I get the right thing. Okay, let's take into the next thing here. Is your guy Crypto Capto? Nah, someone who is, when he's bullish, he's right, but when he's bearish, he's wrong. Like this guy's never been, more like, he did call the top in 2021, but his bearish momentum, he lost his whole reputation in the bear market. But he's saying right now that potentially 2 scenarios, that we potentially just drop down to about 80, which is kind of happening, or we bounce out of here, hit 94, and then bear trap our way back down to 62. The fact that he's even saying 62 right now just makes me so bullish on the fact that he's just always overly bearish. And in these momentum, it's kind of like it just takes over him. The inner bear is deep inside of him, and just comes out, and he's like, I will strangle the markets. And I don't know. What do you think?
That's possible. Another guy that I follow, Crypto Nueva, he's been really on point this year. He's calling something similar to this. I don't think he's calling the initial up though. He's calling to grab that $81,000 pocket, and then. But this is crazy. This is too far. This is like 62. I don't see it. I don't see that.
I agree for sure. All right. So the next thing here. So Colin Talks Crypto, somebody that we've been kind of following for. He's the M2 money supply guy. He's he had this chart. Let me actually show my screen again here. Make sure it's loaded up correctly. All right. So this is the tweet from him. He said, "Global money supply versus Bitcoin. Interesting." So I don't remember seeing this last time, right? I could have sworn this was like over here, like, you know what I mean? But he's saying that and this is at 85K, right? When he screenshotted this, but he's saying, I would love to make something like this so we can see it like on a daily, but he's basically calling for 78,000 here, and then sideways until May 25th for more upward momentum. What do you think about this? If we follow the M2 money supply to a T here, we would see potentially a double bottom at 79,000.
That if that happens, then I would expect some sort of bullish continuation into June, though. You know what I mean? Because I feel like that's so. Well, it looks like.
Well, he's calling for July.
Yeah. So okay, that makes sense. I thought that was, for some reason, I was just so focused on May. So actually, that doesn't really kick off until the end of May, is what he's saying.
That's just the summer boom. It would be like the first ever.
2020, right?
But if no one has money to sell in May and go away, they're working all summer, right?
Yeah. Well, somebody has money. Somebody has money, because it's always like people selling down, holding it into stables, putting in other places, and then so there's money somewhere, and that could spur it. But I would actually, honestly, I would love to have an energetic summer. We haven't had one in a while.
I don't think we've had one ever, honestly,
Yeah.
besides DeFi Summer, but that was very short lasting. That was like the month of August, right? Like it was DeFi Summer, but it was only like 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man. All right. So the next thing here is Miles Dusher had a tweet. He said Bitcoin market cap is pulling away from altcoins. And he had this this chart here. Let me see if I can find it. So many links open. All right, so this is it right here. If it wants to load up. All right, so Miles Dusher says that basically Bitcoin market cap is pulling away. And dude, this is crazy. We haven't had this much gap ever. Like this is February 2023. I mean, probably before that, maybe, but in the last 2 years, it's been pretty much following each other. With this is the bear market here, and we had a little bit of separation there. But I mean, this is terrible. Like this is bad, real bad.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the institutional wedge there, right? That like just like load it up on Bitcoin, whether through the ETF, they still have to back it. So this is like that institutional gap, and I think it'll close eventually, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, but it's going to be very interesting to see like how even us in 6 months, 6 to 12 months view like the altcoin market, right? Like are we going to, because I think the space changes in terms of more solid product offerings, stuff like that, more real world uses. And with that, maybe some of these new, mid caps and stuff that come out through that, we're going to look at as the more quality, right? And then some of the junk stuff kind of gets shaved off. And then after that is whenever it closes back, because institutional will get involved with those, quality projects. But this is definitely interesting to see this gap so big right here. And it really, I mean, it was 2024, man. So it has to do with, because the only biggest difference is the institutions came in, right?
Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. It's the only thing. There's the only thing there. So let's kind of get into, so Tether mints another 1 billion in USDT on Tron, bringing the total in 2025 alone. I mean, we're only like 100 days in to $7 billion of newly minted USDT. What is going on in Tron that you need so much USDT for right now? $7 billion. I know we talk about crypto a lot, but $7 billion is a lot of money. Like that's insanity.
I think they've been making moves behind the scenes, right? Because they've been really friendly with, the Trump crypto team and all that stuff, and donations, and working with them. And that team has also worked with Binance, Tron. So it's interesting because, like, yes, they have been promoting kind of made in America crypto companies and tokens, but also at the same time, having these business relationships with like these Chinese, chains and institutions as well. So I think that's smart though, because you got to be well rounded, right? I'm interested to see like what is going to come from Tron, if there's going to actually be like applications. What are they trying to like be known for? Because we don't know, right? Because all they've been really known for is TVL before, right? And now they're getting more attention from the US, right? So I expect something that might shock us a little bit to see like what they're pivoting to for their identity. So I'm excited to see.
Do you think there's just like maybe a language barrier between the East and the West, and maybe the East really sees Tron as like a blockchain like BNB, and we're just Western mindset, and we just don't really see Tron as a top 5 blockchain? Could that be a part of it a little bit?
It could be. But I thought about that before too. But if that's the case, then Tron's not marketing correctly, because BNB is that exactly what you said. For the Eastern, most specifically Chinese community, look at BNB as like the biggest thing. That's their Ethereum, I guess you could say. And if that's the case in Tron, because we like Westerners know about BNB enough. A lot of us like played in it a little bit before last cycle, have built projects there, and so that means that Tron's not marketing themselves properly, in my opinion, to the West. To the East, maybe, but then how do they change that? Maybe by getting friendly with the Trump crypto team and all the stuff. So
my only argument to that would be Binance, network, right? Binance. So it's easy to market yourself when you're the largest exchange in the world, right? Market
100%.
your chain. right? So that would be my only argument back to that. But yeah, I think you're right, though. I think they need to step up the marketing, and here in the West, especially if they're going to be the #1 holder. Well, Justin Sun, the #1 holder of World Liberty Coin, right? And everything that they can do in World Liberty Coin buying Tron. So, but we'll see. Grayscale has filed for an Avalanche ETF. They have an Avalanche trust. This is the first company to say throw Avalanche in the ring. And I think this is kind of what the SEC is waiting for. We saw that Gary Gensler, when he did the Bitcoin ETF, he didn't want to just list, the first one, which was BlackRock. He waited for 9, 10, 11 to come in. Do you think the SEC is kind of waiting for pretty much all the blue chip ETFs to get filed before listing them, maybe listing them all together on the same day? And what would that do to the altcoin market if you have like Avalanche, Cardano, XRP, Doge, Solana, all kind of get listed in the same day?
Ooh, yeah. So strategically, it makes sense, right? If from an efficient standpoint, but also for making this administration look good as well. So like imagine them saying, okay, we're going to kind of hold these until market conditions get a little bit better as well. I'm not saying that's what they're thinking, but it would probably help propel those tokens if the market conditions got better. Ethereum's knocking on the door of 5,000, and all of a sudden these ETFs get approved all at the same time. That would just be like such a good snowball of catalyst that would roll together to really kick us off.
Yeah, and you don't want to launch an XRP ETF, right? And then 2 weeks later launch this one. You're kind of picking the winner, right? Like you don't like, I don't want our government to pick our winner. I want them to give us the opportunity to let us pick the winner. And by doing that, you just kind of wait, and you do it patiently, and you list them all at once. So that way there is no winners picked. The winner will be picked by the market, right? Not by the SEC, who's choosing to list XRP first and then Doge and then so on and so on. But I think it's the best way to do it is let the market decide which is the best.
Yeah, I agree with that. Doing at least, 5 together just makes sense.
Yeah.
Bitcoin's different, right? Because like that was the one that kicked us off, and even Ethereum. So
It's the oldest, most trusted coin. It's decentralized to a T. I mean, Ethereum.
No one's going to argue against that, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to list the first two, but then I feel like it's hard to list because 3, 4, 5, and 6 are so close to each other. You can have one good day for XRP and it's 3, one good day for Doge and it's 3. So it's like by that part, ETH is 2, Bitcoin is 1 by market cap, far above, like 3 times the size of anything else is ETH, and then Bitcoin is 3 times the size as 4 times the size of Ethereum now. Damn. But I want to end this on a little bit of bullishness with my boy Ivan. I watch him every morning. Ivan, breaking Bitcoin CME gap closed, ready to lift off. So Ivan's someone who buys the dip, and he's buying the dip here. He was saying this morning, he was like, guys, this is an opportunity of a lifetime, blah, blah, blah. He's saying we hit his target of 84.7. I mean, we even hit 83, but he's thinking that this is the bottom right here. With all the bear stuff we've heard, is this possible?
CME, M2 money supply,
QE.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like people, we all trying together. You know what I mean? We're trying together, and you got to appreciate the effort and the want for things to get bullish again. But hey, any one of those could really kind of set things off. But we had a good start to this week, and we're not necessarily like having the worst into it, but I think, expecting volatility because options are closing today, are finishing up today. I look at that as kind of like, okay, temporary, kind of whatever they want the price to get to, they're going to get to it today.
100%.
And then Sunday is kind of that reset. So I'm not like worried next week if we're like in the low 80s, knocking on a door, heading down to like 70s, then my like antennas go up a bit, right? So look, we got how many days until April 2nd? What was that?
Tuesday.
Like 3, 5. So yeah, Tuesday, right? So we'll see if that's going to be a psychological thing. April 3rd, forward-looking markets, like you always say, right? So April 3rd would be that forward-looking moment. As long as he doesn't like open his mouth about another date or expectation.
If he pushes the can down the road, if he says, you know what, May 2nd, that would be the worst case scenario. right? Like,
Yeah.
no, like we want it behind us, not in front of us. Oh yeah, for Tuesday, which is April 1st, I was thinking about doing something. And guys, let me know in the chat if you guys think it's a good idea. I'm gonna give you 3 headlines. 2 of them will be made up by me, and 1 of them will be real. I'm gonna have you pick the real one. I'm gonna do that a couple different times. How do you think about that for the April 1st show?
And then maybe give
April
them
Fool's
like
Day.
give them like a 3-minute like countdown, because so they're not researching, right? Or what do
Well,
you think?
I'm just gonna ask you. So I'm gonna make 2 up, and I'm gonna have 1 real one.
Okay.
So, and I'm gonna do them in slots. So let us know in the chat if you guys think that's a good idea, or should we just do a normal show? But I was thinking about, I'm gonna create like some wild one, and then like one that's close, and then a real headline, and then we'll kind of keep going based on that. It could be like a little fun, different
as we're
episode.
going through our show, I have to just kind of be like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, you got to find it. You got to find the fake headline. What do you think?
That sounds fun. Let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, let's get into that fear and greed, guys. So last week we were at 31, last Friday. Yesterday we're at 40. Today we're doing okay. I'm having a hard time giving you this hint, but we are definitely neutral and a little bit more than a little higher than yesterday's 40.
Okay. 44.
Boom. Hit it on the nose.
Yeah, dude, I haven't hit one in a while.
44. We're right there. Usually like 1 number off, which is pretty much
Yeah.
on. If you're in between 1 or 2 numbers, you're definitely in. So we're neutral, but as we know, this number is taken at 0 UTC, which was 8 p.m. Eastern time last night. We're probably, if they did it right this second, we're probably really bearish right now. Going into the weekend, but you are right, as options day. So we're going to see what happens tonight after the market's closed, and kind of see, maybe we get back on track and maybe get a little bullish going into the next number. But we'll definitely keep an eye on it. But I'm hoping to be in the green next week. But today's just feels like smack in the face and doesn't feel like it's possible. But anyway, let's check that Bitcoin price. Let's get into the Bitcoin price action, brought to you guys by Artora.finance. Artora is bringing game-changing technology to Hemi, right? They're going to be on Hemi mainnet. And why did they choose Hemi? Well, Hemi's backed by Binance, right? So Binance is going to hold the Hemi token. How can you get the Hemi token? Potentially by using Artora on Hemi's mainnet. So you'll be double dipping. We do know Artora is going to be doing something really good for their community, and we know Hemi is going to be doing something good for the community. What that is, I think we all have the same idea. But it's something that I personally want to get as many as I possibly can. I want to get that Hemi token. I want to get that Artura token. And, by getting them both for going high leverage, right? And having some fun with a few bucks, right? So that's what something my personal plan is. You do what you want. You can short me. Go take the other side. I just can't short. Just nothing. There's not a bone in my body that lets me short. That's probably why I'm such a bad leverage trader. But at the same time, potentially any losses that I get, maybe I get that back in the sense of Hemi, or maybe I get some wins and I also get some Hemi and some Artura, right? So really looking forward to being able to play with that. But right now, you guys can actually get started on Botonics, Spider Chain. They're actually on testnet right now. You guys can go to Artora.finance. You connect your wallet, it'll automatically put you to the Botonics testnet. You'll claim your Bitcoin, you'll claim your USDT, $10,000 of it. You can go long, short, paper trading, guys, but that'll also get you into Artora's raffle, where potentially you can earn from that as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to earn with Artora, and go to Artora.finance today to start playing. And look out for next Wednesday. We're trying to schedule something. It'll be a pre-record, but we're trying to schedule a trading competition, a little fun one, high leverage, 150x style on the Artora testnet. So look out for that as well. That'll probably be late next week. We want to make sure the market conditions are good, so maybe we might push that. But as of right now, it'll definitely probably be the first week of April.
Yep. Guys, that's going to be really exciting. We're going to have some good traders in there. So hopefully you guys can kind of pick their brains, because we're going to do a kind of a roundtable of questions as well. But the competition is going to be fun, because the 150x is the minimum and the maximum that we're going to be forcing everybody to take. But before we get into the Bitcoin price action, guys, if you could help us out as always, because you guys are awesome on the YouTube side, smash that like, subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on so you know when we go live Monday through Friday. And on the X side, guys, please share this space so we can educate and onboard as many people to crypto and the Bitcoin ecosystem as possible. And on the abstract side, if you could share the stream, that would be great. Thank you guys so much. But let's jump into some Bitcoin price action really quick here. All right. And I am going to go over the others as well, because that has been a great addition and hit on some of these crypto bubbles. But all right, so let's take a look here. Man, this is a nasty wick that got all the way down to 84,200, right? Yeah, this whole downtrend really took us, we didn't last long in the overbought territory at all. Literally, just maybe like 2 hours, and then all the way back down here. It was literally almost like a vertical line here. We've been down here for a little bit, though. I could say probably about 8 hours. And it seems like it's not ready to give up. You can see this kind of blue stochastic RSI leading indicator line actually starting to kind of curl down a little bit. And you can see same thing with the MACD line. And then we got the strength and the sell pressure for the MACD as well. So, it doesn't look the best right now. But again, we got to remember this is kind of being manipulated, in my opinion, with the price volatility of the Bitcoin options, Bitcoin and Ethereum options expiring today. So that's something we just got to get used to. Last Friday of the month, if there are, a lot of liquidity being closed through options that day, which is happening today. So probably expect a little bit of further down, right? We're sitting at 84,600, maybe even get down to 83. But I do think there's going to be kind of like this cutoff of, okay, once the options close, and they might be closed, actually, I got to look that up, where we'll kind of stabilize. And then tomorrow I expect it to be kind of a regular trading Saturday of back and forth scalping, and then Sunday night is going to really give us some information, in my opinion, for how we can start the week, right? Because the weekly chart has looked really good. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing for the rest of today, guys. Unfortunately, 4 to 8 hours of probably a little bit more downtrend. But again, I think it's kind of like they put the tourniquet on it, and the bleeding stops. It's not like extremely aggressive, just kind of satisfying that price volatility due to options. So that's what I'm seeing for the hour chart here. Oops, let me get out of that. Wow, I just totally, give me a second here, messed that up. Sorry about that. And let me get back to my price chart here. Something happened with there he goes. All right, cool. All right, guys, sorry about that. I had to fix that technical difficulty, but the 4 hours basically just, giving me like all the confirmation that I just talked about. Yeah, so, Sundays typically reset, in my opinion. Like, yes, it can have that continuation of trend, but what the 4-hour chart is telling me is that probably don't take long for today, is what I would say. So, probably that further down, like I mentioned earlier, this is definitely looking aggressive on the 4-hour chart. On the MACD side, stochastic looks nasty as well. But guys, like I mentioned, remember, this is kind of like an event price action based off of those options. But let's take a look here at the weekly and see what the weekly looks like, because that is something that I have been following. And you can see we got our first red candle. Obviously, it's not official yet until Sunday, but having 2 weeks of green before that, right? It's going to be very important to see when that bleeding actually stops and we stabilize, because we still have a little gap here. And this is the weekly chart for Bitcoin for the people wondering. We still have that gap here between the bottom of the red candle and the top of the 50-day EMA channel for the weekly. And this is really the bull market kind of protection zone, in my opinion, because if we go below that, yes, temporarily, that's okay, but it just wouldn't be good news if we actually broke below and continued a downtrend through the channel, and getting below the channel would be even worse. But yeah, so honestly, I'm not worried about this red candle. On Sunday, we're going to know for sure. If it is red, could bounce back. We'll see. But even if it does end up being a red candle, I'm okay, because we had 2 green ones before. And sometimes you get that, right? You're going to have a little bit of swinging back and forth. As long as we don't have something like this guy again, I'm okay. So the stochastic actually still looks like a decent setup, even if we do end up with a red candle, as long as it's not one of those huge ones. It looked like it wanted to start to come up here. So if it's a weak red candle, or we flip green on Sunday, perhaps, we're still in the driver's seat, right? This did turn dark red again, though. This was white. So I'm okay. I'm okay with the setup still, as long as, like I said, we don't get anything, really aggressive to the downside. And next week, in my opinion, is really the kind of make it or break it for this. If we end up forming a strong red candle for next week, that would be, in my opinion, the worst situation. But yeah, so that's kind of where we are in the weekly. I still like the situation. The setup is looking pretty good.
Well, last time we went up, real quick, if you want to go back there, we had to go to the center of those two things before we went up, right? So if you look back in, down there at the bottom there, we had to go halfway down in order to go up, and you potentially see us having to do that again.
Possibly. I wouldn't love it, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it would take like a candle like this to kind of get us to that, right? Like, let's say we finish this candle here. I guess, getting to the middle would be a pretty significant pullback, right? Like, meaning
what would that number be?
77.
Okay, that's definitely possible.
Yeah, 76, 77 is definitely possible. It would be a doom and gloom feel, though, I feel like, which at the end of the day, like, we always push through, right? So it doesn't matter. We want to build off of the positive momentum that we built. But taking a look at the others, the top 10.
Let's not look at that. Take it away.
Top 10 besides Bitcoin, guys. This is the hour chart. So yeah, Bitcoin is definitely, that 66% dominance is hitting right here on this chart. You can see. I won't get too much into the depression there. I do want to hit the weekly, though, because that's important. The weekly for the others chart. So this is top 10, everything besides Bitcoin in crypto. So we did break above the bottom part of the 50-day EMA channel on the weekly chart for the others, right? So I'm hoping that this actually doesn't, like I mentioned before, I do expect this kind of tourniquet to be in effect here soon for Bitcoin, and that bleeding stops. We don't go too much further down heading into the weekend. Same thing for the others. That's what we need, at least, because we're back below the bottom part of the channel. We want to stay in this channel, even if we're at the bottom part, because, we haven't had any momentum for the others in a very long time. I think myself last time, pointed out that we had two tops in 2024, and, he thinks maybe one last top. I think actually, maybe not anything close to this, but maybe we get one in the summer that's a little bit smaller, you know what I mean? And then kind of sideways, and then Q4 blow off the top. So maybe two more for this year, but I'm hoping that's like best case scenario. But Mice Elf situation that I think he was mentioning, I think that if there's one, it's going to be in Q4, meaning that we probably won't get too much of a push up in the spring or summer. But I don't know. I wouldn't bet against that. But yeah, so setup is actually, I would like for this to get a little bit weaker on the MACD as well, kind of starting to curl up there. But the stochastic looks like we could be in a decent spot. Bitcoin is going to determine where the others goes right now. Still, though, they're still kind of following. I thought maybe they kind of detached themselves a bit. But yeah, something to keep your eye on is the weekly chart for the others, guys, because we don't want to go like this and keep going below that 50-day EMA. And the very last thing I'll hit on is the bubbles chart, which the weekly and this is pretty much others as well. Weekly doesn't look horrible, right? It doesn't look as good as it did yesterday or Wednesday, but it still has some green here. And I will flash the daily because there you go. It's not something to be. Yeah, flash the daily because it's too depressing. Yeah, so stuff that's sticking out though on the weekly still. Some of these big ones. Doge is still up 8.6%. That's solid. That meme coin community, the meme coin community. Chronos still strong with that 37%, and I think they had an announcement right with the US, something with that. Ton has been
DJT stablecoin.
Yeah,
or the ETFs will be through crypto.com.
Gotcha. And then Ton has been in the news a lot. So AVAX, this is good. Sheeb, some of these meme communities are still in the green still, right, as of right now. But if Bitcoin does kind of lose that, like it does the opposite of what I said, and just kind of lets the bleeding continue to come out, these memes will be the next ones to go, in my opinion, before like the AVAXs and the Tons and Souls and stuff like that. So we're still okay, guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, man. So I did get the information for you about the options. So on regular trading days, stock options in the U.S. Cease trading at 4 p.m. Eastern. So at the same time the market closes at 4 p.m., that's when your stock expires, right? But for Bitcoin in the U.S. anyway, it's the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME, offers options for Bitcoin 6 p.m. Eastern time for
Okay.
Bitcoin. So. Yeah, man. All right, let's kind of get into the roll call here. And familiar face is number one here. We got my man Danny Boy. Shout out that Danny. He says one, but isn't this crazy? So Danny put this in at 124. Lucky Lukey also came in at 124. These guys were
Oh my gosh.
seconds apart, dude. Seconds apart from each other. Absolutely crazy. Shout out to both you guys, man. I kind of wanted to give it to both you guys, but I can't do it. I can't do it. I apologize, but it is Danny Boy. Shout out to Danny. It's your day. Congratulations. Enjoy your weekend. You are a winner. So Danny has won pretty much at least once a week. Yeah. He won the 11th. He won the 20th. And now he has won the 28th. So he has won once a week. And all you got to do is win once a week and you can stay number one. So shout out to Danny. So let me actually show my screen here. Danny has 12. WebJoe has 13. WebJoe's kind of been slacking a little bit slacking.
He
My
caught
man
up,
WebJoe.
dude.
So he's right there. So Danny just needs to win. He wins once a week. So if his win next week, if with a WebJoe L, could mean that Danny takes first place. But guys, there's still plenty of time for guys like Lucky Lukey and Glasshopper got his one. Glasshopper you can win 4 in a row. We have like 250 days left, guys. So get in here if you're not in here. So be first. But ASAP Benji, he won, the 2 days in a row, and then he won again on the 24th. So his 5th win. So this is anyone's game. If you guys don't know what this is, so we're doing it first as first. The first comment that doesn't get reaped, and I think Danny Boy actually found out a way. Well, I guess we saw it happen live, but found out a way to stop the Reaper from coming in, and that's sending a super chat. Hey, I'm not going to be mad at it, but you guys don't have to do this if you don't want to. I'm not saying do it, but if the Reaper comes, so what the Reaper is YouTube's some reason deletes comments. I have no idea why. We are not doing it. Like, I swear, nothing to do with OnChain Revolution whatsoever. It's something YouTube does, but sometimes they'll delete the comments. But I don't think they do it when there's a super chat. And I think Danny now locked it in. And so you get the win, you lock it in. I think that's the lock. But even so, if they did do it, I know they'd never deleted super chat, so this would actually go number one. So you could actually come in with a super chat yourself, and potentially it does get deleted. Your super chat will be first. I don't know if that's true. I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, but yeah. But shout out to Danny, shout out to you guys, and again, I'm not asking anyone for a super chat. It's something if you guys want to do it, that is a choice. That's up to you. But Danny Boy says first is first. Lucky Lukey said nice. Danny Boy says Lucky Lukey. On the right is right behind me. Yeah, right behind you, Danny. Seconds, bro. Seconds. Alam Yuri says Danny Boy. WebJoe goes, Danny Boy, just one more to catch up to the champ. To be the champ, you gotta beat the champ, and that's WebJoe right now. Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo, he loves me and I love you. Shout out to Mr. Hanky with his Billy Cat, my man. And then we have Glasshoppers here like every single day. Appreciate you, my friend. Mats is here. I don't think we see Mats in at least this week, but Mats is here. Came in on a Friday. Shout out to Mats, man. Then Cheaty with his blue suit. Shout out to our guy Cheaty, man. What's up, guys? What's up, Cheaty? And then Superfan, man. If you want to come on, man, we can potentially get you on at 12 to talk about your thing there. Did he comment in there?
Yeah, I think he said that we can talk about it a little bit later.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
And then we got Cheaty up here, but Superfan, also, if you want to come on Monday, we could possibly get you in at like 11:30 before Jeff Eastern time. That is so. Just let us know if you're interested in that. We'd love to get you on to talk about everything you guys are doing with that. Nighthawk says, GM, God bless the Reaper. May he come every day. Shout out to Nighthawk pumping up the Reaper. And then Drex. It's been a long time, Drex, man, but I'm glad you're back, man. He says, Yagoo, new PFP is so fire. Damn, love it. Brother in Christ. Shout out to Drex, man. Absolute legend.
Appreciate that, bro.
Chief Axel is here. Kai Effector's here. Superfan, let's effing go. Superfan again. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't look at the Telegram when the show starts, man. But if you did get in there, then I would. Yeah, anytime you're ready to come on the show, I would love to have you. Monday could be good. Tuesday could be good. Just kind of just let us know what you're thinking. And if there's no time slot, maybe we can do a pre-record and kind of showcase what you're building, man. Love to support our community any way we can, and you are a big part of that, my friend. All right. Let's get into it's a little early, but let's kind of get into Fluid Friday because there's a lot of stuff with Raul here. So let me just jump into it. First thing he asked me to do, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you guys would join the Discord, guys. So previously, what we would say all the time was you can contact us, you can contact Raul, we'll set you up. There's no need to do that anymore. Because I didn't realize that Discord is phenomenal. You guys can come here. Just you can go to general, or you can report, or whatever. You can find the team in here. Raul said if every comment gets seen by a team member, so we want you guys to go join their Discord here. As you see, I was in there. I said, "Hey everyone, Dominic, what a hi mate." So shout out to all you guys, man, are in the Fluid Discord and get in there. Preferably get in that Bitcoin chat, right? Show them that the Bitcoin guys are here all the time. But shout out to you guys, man, and kind of get into the next thing. So Fluid also, take my screen down. So Fluid, their Fluid passes are just about done. There's about 20 something days with that. I think it's 24 days left in that. So if you did stake your Fluid pass, remember, some Raul asked me to push to you guys. Remember, you do have to claim your staked, right? So you'll come here and you'll go to your staked, and you see I have 20 passes staked. So 23 days, 8 hours, I will be able to come here and I will be able to hit unlock, and then in one transaction I will get all 20 of my ordinals plus my reward, right? Which is my reward, I think, is pretty hefty. I'm really excited about that. So, and another thing is too is so the bridge for the FLDT token is not done yet. Raul is actually going to be speaking with the devs from Cardano to figure out a shard mechanism for the bridge. That's like the last thing they got to do, and they're going to be using BitVM to do this as well. So it's pretty big. They're using BitVM to do this on the Bitcoin side, and potentially a Cardano BitVM style on that side with some sharding in between. He was explaining to me, my mind was blown. I was like, this is why I'm not a dev, and this is why you are. So it was pretty awesome conversation. But if you guys getting this, it'll be a rune, right? So you'll have the rune over here. There won't be much of it. This is all the FLD2T rune there is. So potentially you could see a giant difference between the rune price and the Fluid price.
Yeah.
Like it could be.
Do you think the gap will probably close pretty quick, don't you think?
Well, my plan is to help close that gap. So I'm going to be doing so. I'm going to go get the FLD token on Cardano, and I'm going to get it on Bitcoin. I'm going to hold the same amount. And then when the price goes away from each other, I'm going to either be buying on this side and selling on this side to make sure I have the same amount of Fluid, but more Bitcoin or more Cardano, depending on where I do it. I'm going to be playing on both sides of this to make sure that it's even, but I'm going to get the difference constantly. That's called arbitrage, guys. I will be arbitraging this to make sure that it stays there, and I'm going to be making money. So feel free to join me on the arbitrage, but that is the other thing. And there was a few more updates, but what do you think about this huge unlocking here on the 23rd and the bridge not being opened? What is your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I think that if they are able to accomplish the sharding and is utilizing BitVM, it will be the most trust minimized method of bridging Bitcoin layer 1 assets to any other environment that we have available to use. I do know that there's other projects coming out that are going to be doing this, but I'm excited about it, right? Because like Fluid is the team to do it, in my opinion. And so so that's awesome. And back to your arbitrage situation, like I feel like this is like a really good opportunity, because a lot of times what happens with like arbitrage situations is like it's extremely high volume, extremely marketed, all that stuff. But like with Fluid, I think it's going to start off a little bit slower, just because it's their rune, that their FLDT on Cardano only exists on MEXC, which is solid still, but it's still kind of like, I think their FLDT is going to be one of those tokens that come out and people start talking about like in Q4 or something, like, oh wow, these guys are doing so much on Bitcoin, and so that arbitrage opportunity could be huge. I don't feel like people are going to have to like stress so much and like try to just take your time with it, because I think you're gonna have a little bit of time to do it.
Yeah, and just pay attention to the price, right? Like if you go to buy the rune and the rune's sitting at 30 cents, go check the price of it on on CoinGecko. If the price is 20% there, just wait for the arbitrage to come in before you purchase, right? Or go lower, and that's when you want to get it, when it's lower than the FLDT price. That's when I'm going to be purchasing it heavily, honestly, because it's free money at that point. Raul also asked me to hit on this real quick. So this is a tweet from the Fluid Cardano site. So they're getting a multi-chain, multi-sig wallet, right? So multi-chain, multi-sig wallet, MMW, as I'm calling it, but manage ADA stable coins and more with participants from any chain. So you're going to be able to do Cardano, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin. I didn't even know they were working on Base and Polygon, right? Because they're EVM based and Ethereum, right? So this is pretty crazy. You're going to be able to use their smart wallet, and he said it's going to look very similar to smart wallets that exist today, which there's one on Merlin that we've seen, and there's like a little purple dot at the bottom, and that's your smart wallet. You connect your wallet to that. Any site you go to will have that smart wallet on, and you click it, you'll see your balance, right? But you can just sign in to anything with the wallet of your choosing, whether that's EVM, whether that's Bitcoin or Cardano, and you're going to be able to see everything you need. You'll just sign in and you'll click that little smart wallet. Everything will pop up and then you're good to go. Fluid's changing the game with this. This is pretty big. And this is something that we've been talking about for a long time. This is account abstraction. This is the biggest thing in crypto in what I'm thinking in my head.
Yes, account abstraction, chain abstraction. The strategy is starting to be contagious, right? Like you mentioned, Merlin, in my opinion, at least with the Bitcoin ecosystem, was the first to really implement it, and I think they deserve more credit for that than they get. But now Particle Network's doing their own thing with like Universal X, and they kind of have led the way with account abstraction, at least in the east side, right? And then now we have like our partner Fluid that's also doing this, and I didn't realize that they were doing the EVM side as well. And Litecoin, they're getting like some Litecoin community involved, Dogecoin as well. That's huge. So we're gonna see more and more of this, and I wouldn't be shocked like 6 months down the road if they add more environments, than just these. Because like once you open the genie bottle of EVM, like that doesn't close, right? Like you can easily implement other environments and chains. So exciting stuff for these guys. Not surprised. They are super talented, and this is kind of what I expect of them now.
I asked him, I said, will you guys be adding like Avalanche and maybe Sonium? And he was like, what's Sonium? And I was like, Sony's blockchain. And he was like, I'm going to look into that. So potentially Fluid on Sonium. That'd be pretty cool. And then on top of that, potentially down the line, you might see, you're right. Once you get the EVM, I mean, Avalanche EVM, I mean, there's hundreds of EVMs, right? Like there's so many. So we will see potentially Merlin eventually. But I did ask him potentially about Bell's coin, because you see Litecoin there. What's the difference? It pretty much is none. And he said that's definitely possible, and they'll look into that as well. So that you could potentially see Fluid tokens on 50, 60, 70 chains in the future.
Yeah. Exciting stuff.
Yeah. And then the last thing, but not least, goes out shout out to our guys over at Pep Odin's. They're building something really, really cool on Odin, right? Pep Odin's building on Odin, right? So this is the guys, get in here. You only have 2 days, 7 hours. So by Monday, this is gone forgotten. Sunday night, it's over. You cannot won't be able to stake your Pep Odins. If you do have Pep Odins, withdraw from Odin. 1 Bitcoin block. Stake it in here. You earn. So this is about right now. It's about 20% APY for these guys, but the more people that come in, it's going to get lower and lower. So it's looking like right now, if you get in this and this, the total amount is staked, it's still 20% APY. So right now it's like 40% APY. But guys, get in here if you're holding Pep Odins until April 29th, which is a month, 30 days, a month.
Yeah,
you can earn 20% APY in 30 days, which is like, in reality, it's like 2,000% APY because it's 30 days.
Yeah. And this is 21 million supply token.
Yeah.
See, I think a lot of people aren't realizing that like Odin is they mimic the supply of Bitcoin. So like, people hold like 100,000 tokens of this and that right now, because like, yes, there's liquidity that have come in and there's surges, but like imagine like a complete bullish environment, to where like we get like 2 months of bullishness in alts, and then that trickles down to these mids and these new environments. Like these tokens could really take off because of their supply. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And especially the ones that have that are starting to form better distribution, because that is one problem, is that like with all these meme launch pads, doesn't matter supplies, people they're greedy, so they're like, okay, I think this is going to take off, I'm going to get like try to get 1, 2, 3% of this total supply. Well, eventually what will need to happen is like, and this is perfect kind of market conditions for this,
Yeah.
because redistribution is starting to happen. Like we saw that with Super
Yeah.
X. I showed you, at first everybody was like holding so much Super X. Now it's getting redistributed because the market isn't demanding for the market caps to explode yet.
Yeah.
So, it looks way better than it did when it first launched. And I think something like Pep Odin is going to look really good. Sparks probably too. And so it's exciting times, but no, it's exciting to look at the future, I should say. But right now it's probably more of like, okay, what communities do I want to be a part of?
Yeah, man. So guys, go check out the fluidtokens.com. Go to the Cardano side. Explore, guys. We need to be multi-chain. We need to understand what's going on. Cardano gets an ETF. Fluid's going to fly. It's going to absolutely fly. We've seen it multiple times with that. So definitely look into the top tokens on the chains with ETFs, and Fluids is definitely one of them. And make sure you guys are in their Discord. Sign up today. Go in here and talk in the Bitcoin chat, because that's what we are, right? I say multi-chain, but I want to be in that Bitcoin chat, right? So that's where I am, and so much more. And then also remember to check out their Twitter as well. They have the Fluid tokens there, and then they have the other Fluid tokens XBT as well. So definitely check out everything Fluid, guys. They are awesome, and they're our longest partner. We've been partnered with them going on almost a year in June. It's pretty wild.
Amazing
Yeah,
partnership too, man. Those guys are awesome to work with. And and shout out to you guys, because Raul gave y'all a shout out saying you guys been over to their Discord asking questions and stuff. So that's what we promote. It's research. Go to Discords, research, ask questions, stuff like that. But one thing I do want to bring up, since we were talking about Fluid just now, is Fluid is going to launch their rune. You're staking for that. And now runes are going to be in the Cardano environment, right? And I know like runes can be depressing, especially whenever you hear stuff on the timeline and people like, crap on it and all this stuff. And then you have the believers that still believe in it. But just look what's happening though. Like runes are being sprinkled into different chains, dude. Like, and if there's enough of that happening, then all these different communities in Cardano, ICP, Solana with Zeus, which hopefully we can get them on the show, and all these other things. Eventually, there's going to be a moment to where all these communities are just really familiarized with runes, especially with Raul saying he wants to take Dog over there too, right? I think.
Yeah. Dog will be one of the ones that are going over there, and Leonidas kind of already said that he'll be adding liquidity to that if they get it over there. So we'll see. Potentially could see a Dog Cardano pairing on Cardano. That'd be pretty big. So.
Have we had something like what I just explained though, like runes as a standard being sprinkled into all these different chains? Have we had that in the past?
Well, ERC20, and it's on every chain. So
well, except for UTXOs.
Exactly. It's never been on UTXOs, but you can take ERC20s anywhere, and then Solana. They're really kind of stuck on Solana, right? Like you can't really. It's really hard to bridge those only to Bitcoin, which is Runes Minds is doing that. So you can bring Solana tokens to Bitcoin, but there is no. I'm pretty sure there's a bridge Solana to Ethereum, but I don't think it's decentralized. I think it's very centralized. So
it's going to be an interesting experiment, to say the least.
Yeah. All right, jump to the next thing here. NFT sales plunged 63% in Q1 2025. But Pudgy Penguins, Doodles, Milady Maker defied the downturn by rising demand. So the strong NFTs are pretty much the Bitcoin of the NFT platform. As you can see, the NFT sales volume per collection, you see the punks, and then you see down, right? 45% down. And then you see Pudgy Penguins, Doodles, 48 Yacht Club, Miladies, all having pretty much green So Q1 of 2024 and Q1 of 2025, that's what this is. But Pudgy Penguins had a better Q1 this year. Doodles had a better Q1 this year. Bored Ape had a terrible year to the comparison, but Milady's had an amazing year compared to last year as well. So what do you think about this? The top NFTs, Punks, Penguins, Doodles, Bored Ape Yacht Club, and Milady's all, well, not Bored Ape Yacht Club and not Punks, but these three.
Yeah. Well, I think this is kind of like showing first Pudgy Penguins. Luca Nets.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised there. He's really good at just making them have value, whether that's partnerships with Walmart, Pez, most recently launching Abstract Chain, whatever, right? So that one, I'm not really shocked. Doodles, I don't really hear too much about them. They are, I think they're a smaller community. Milady's, they're kind of crazy. I feel like they kind of have like that puppet energy, right, on that side. But they are the more like Doodles and Milady's. I think they're more of the lower tier. They're still expensive, but like they're not like Crypto Punks and Bored Ape, which also don't have, in my opinion, the same kind of grassroots communities as the other ones probably do. More of like still active with each other, trying to push, joke around a lot. Bored Ape Yacht Club was kind of like the end club back last cycle, right? You were in if you had one. Like Eminem had one, Snoop had one, right? And then the Punks, I just feel like those are just too expensive right now for like everybody's just kind of like struggling to hold on to like tokens and stuff like that. They're not going to buy an NFT right now that's 6 figures.
Yeah. You know who was a big crypto punk? He bought 50 of them when they were super cheap. I just found out, Mr. Beast.
Oh, interesting.
He ended up selling them all. He said Gary V pulled a whole bunch of young entrepreneurs into a group chat during COVID, and he told them all, and he was like, "Yo, buy CryptoPunks," and they all did. And Mr. Beast said, "I bought 50." Wow. He ended up selling them all, and he put all that money into Gary V's. He said, I sold all my CryptoPunks at the high, and then I put all that money in the Gary V's thing, but I'm down on the Gary V buy.
Oh, so Gary
man. V what are they called? Gary V's NFTs?
V Friends? Is that
V Friends? V Friends. Yep. Yeah. So he put all the money he made in there in the V Friends, and he's like, I'm just a V Friends holder because I believe in Gary. So believe in the project leader there. So do you think V Friends can be a top NFT project?
When the market's right, he'll come back out. He's one of those that he's a master marketer, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he goes to the card shows too. And like whenever things are hot though, you know what I mean? And so he knows when something's hot and when something he needs to like probably sell off and go away for a while, and do his kind of mentoring or whatever else he does.
I was in Target and I saw right next to the Pokemon cards, I saw a pack of V Friends cards.
Oh, wow.
And it's by Topps. I didn't even know he was in the cards games. So I'm curious if in some like collectors and stuff, maybe your brother has like some rare ones or something.
Maybe
curious.
But I'm not surprised though. Like Gary V's that type of guy. Like he signed a contract with Topps and says, hey, so he made money even though his collection is probably down in other ways.
Yeah, man. You go into the what are they called? Not digital collectibles, but cards, Topps cards and stuff.
Like the hobbies,
the opposite of digital.
Oh, tangible
collection. Yep. All right, so this one's a little scary. I didn't want to bring it up, but I think I should just in case. So dark web threat, let me actually show my screen here. Dark web threat actors claim to process over 100K Gemini and Binance user records with full names, emails, phone numbers, and location data. So if you hold Bitcoin on Gemini, I have a Gemini account. I opened it up a long time ago. So potentially my information is in this. But Binance stated that this is not from an exchange leak, but malware on infected computers. And this information is being sold on the dark web. It's openly being sold on the dark web. So anyone can pretty much get their hands on Bitcoiners' home address. And this is why I stress to you guys about VPNs and how it's important. But when you give your information to centralized exchanges, you're giving people access to your information as well because of stuff like malware and exchange leaks and stuff like that. But this is a serious matter, in my opinion, especially to Binance. Maybe not that big of a deal with Gemini, but if you did have a lot of Bitcoin on Binance, you might want to figure out some security measures and to keep yourself safe. So
Yeah, this is a bit scary. So the malware is at the individual level of their machine, to where it's attacking like the user's computer and then it's going through somehow,
that's what I thought, but then I started thinking maybe the malware is on Binance's computer.
or maybe some of their employees or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But VPN solves that, right? So.
well, not when you give the information.
Oh yeah,
to Binance.
yeah, that's true. It's true. If they're
I mean, it's
going into their
KYC,
system,
right? So
if they're going into their information, yeah, they'll have access to it.
yep. All right. So all right, let's get to the next thing here. Your boy Udi sold out. Not
Surprise, surprise.
All the remaining Taproot Wizards sold out with a final clearing price of 0.31 Bitcoin. We expected to distribute all Taproot Wizards to minters within the next 24 hours. So I haven't checked yet, but are the Wizards on Magic Eden yet?
They
Can
are.
you purchase a Wizard? What's the price?
0.2.
Oh, it came out at the minting price. What do they look like?
I'm just.
I don't even see them here.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
a
I
little. They have that circle face.
That's weird. All right, let me show my screen here. Wow. I like the New York background. That's pretty cool. But 0.2, why do you think people are selling them at cost? Do you think people will just bought a bunch to potentially get like a rare one?
Well, remember some people got them for 0.1.
0.1.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so for them to if you double up, you make $9,000, I think, or $8,000, you know.
Yeah.
So
if I forced you to buy one of these, which one would you buy?
I would take my time and look for one that's really awesome.
I like this one.
Obviously, like I do have a limitation of how much I would pay, so I would take I would take my time within like the first maybe 6 lines. After that, I'm like, okay, I have to choose from these. But
I love this one. I don't know what about it. It was like laser eyes. Oh, someone just bought it. What the hell?
Really?
No, I got pushed down. All right, so 2005. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it looks dope with the laser eyes and like the wizard. This is the wizard outfit that Udi wore on the stage. It's the same pattern and stuff. So that's why I think it's pretty cool. And the white background is kind of pasted out. But yeah, I don't know. I like this one too with the hat. This is like a fitted hat. This is WASF, WASF. You know what that stands for?
No.
I don't know. Me either.
We're all something. I don't know.
We're all staging fairly. I don't know what any of that means. But
did you just think of like the first words that came to your mind with those letters? staging
100%.
fairly.
100%. All right. So here's some news here. Track Network. You can now stake your track, Yagavi. Open next week. You're staking your track to earn tap.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to see what the mechanism, how much you can earn, all that stuff.
So I have a little bit of information here. I don't know how this much is going to help you, but staking track will open next week. TLDR, stake your track BRC20 to upgrade them to track network. So track's going to be its own L1. So by staking your BRC20, you're actually going to be getting the track token. So you'll never see your BRC20 ever again. They're burning it. But you will see that allocation and the reward on the track network, track 2.0. I guess you would say it's not a blockchain. I don't know what it is, but it's like something mall or something. I don't know. We have to dig more into this. I haven't really been keeping up with the track updates, but early Q3, all pulled track BRC20 will be upgraded to track 2.0. New track 2.0 supply will match the amount staked at the end of the upgrade period. Let it burn. So they're burning it away. What do you think about track and what they're building? We definitely need more information with this. I reached out to the track team. They are open to coming on the show. So maybe we should have them on to kind of explain what is going on with track 2.0.
That would be great, because I'd like to know if they are really, building a new chain. I imagine that they had, they probably got like enough investment to make it, solid. Because that's if they didn't, then it's to me, it's not worth it, right? Because like you're gonna have to have some TVL. You're gonna have to provide those liquidity pools that you just not being able to put out with the tap protocol, right? And so like to attract users, the liquidity always does that, right? Like it does at least its part. Yeah, you might
Yeah.
have to market extra. So I'm interesting to see. I'm interested to see what this is all about. I briefly saw like a clip from the block runners, and they mentioned DAG, something similar
Yeah.
to Hedera, and so it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. But this might be the right move, you know, to create their own blockchain that
Yeah.
maybe you can do bridging with or something. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I do want to dive into it and really understand what they're building, because you know they have built. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They've built, but it's like what they've built it hasn't had that it factor to bring users over. Like you even see it's hard with like Odin, that has like a really good marketing team with like a BeLife, right?
Yeah.
And they've been able to do some like onboarding successfully at times, but even now, like the market conditions and everything. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think this is a good move?
I think it's the only move.
Yeah.
You know, like whether I think it's good or bad, I just think that they have to do something. Like they can't just be if they. So when you look at good projects, you want to see who's building in the bear. And you know, I'm gonna argue that this is a mini bear, right? But who's doing things now that could separate themselves later? And Track is one of them. Track's nonstop building. They're always doing something. Whether that something is going to be used in the future, I have no idea. But they got to do something. You can't just stand with your, you know, what some teams are doing, like ARC20s, where you know they're not doing anything at all, right? Like, so you can't just do nothing. You got to do something, and Benny and Track are doing it with this. So
Yeah.
if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, I mean, you got nothing to lose, right? So,
Yeah, and to your point about the ARC20s, Unisat came out with a post. Did you
that's
see that?
actually the
Okay,
next thing
go
here.
ahead.
So Unisat, effective April 4th, 2005, 2 p.m. Eastern time, we will be transitioning away from supporting the Atomicals protocol with the extension wallet update version. So they're doing an update to their wallet, and your ARC20s will not be in there. But there is other wallets you can put your words into. And so you don't really even need to transfer those ARC20s out of there. You just put your words into what was the wallet called? Wiz Wallet, right?
Yeah, with wallet.
So Wiz Wallet still supports them as far as I know, right? So
Yep.
yeah, so ARC20s, man. I said it a few weeks ago, but I think it's a dead protocol. Unless A comes back, I
Yeah.
just can't see them being successful. I'd be shocked. But there is more to this. I just want to dig into before I get your opinion on it. So I read this part already. Actions needed for you. Please transfer your Atomicals assets to a compatible wallet before the update. No need to transfer. Just put your words from your Unisat into your Wiz wallet. After April 4th, you won't be able to view your Atomicals assets in your Unisat wallets. But don't worry, because they'll still be there. You just won't be able to see them. But don't worry about them. If you're just like, oh wow, they're all gone. No, they're still there. If you go to a scan, you'll see them all there. But you just won't be able to send them out or anything unless you put your words into a Wiz wallet, and then you'll be able to have full access to it. So you don't really need to do anything, but just make sure you have a Wiz wallet set up. And you can do it now, even before this, just to make sure that you can see all your assets and you're able to send them, trade them. But honestly, it might be a good idea.
I got out of my fungible. I got out of my
Yeah.
ARC20s. The one good thing that like A did with that protocol was do the kind of colored coins strategy of backing the tokens with Satoshis, and so I was able to actually still cash out like a little over $1,000 or something like that. It was to where I could allocate it somewhere else. I did keep my toothies though, and one other thing I'll say is that they said that they'll still be there, but will they be supported in the sense of they said they're not going to support them, right? So will they be spendable? Because if they're going to be spendable, they're going to be Bitcoin that's spendable in your wallet. So even though they're not going to take them out of there, they might still not recognize them, and you might spend it.
Yeah, April 4th, don't use the Unisat no more.
Yeah.
Until you get those atomical coins out of there, because they will be spendable. But to your point though, like most of them are 1 to a Satoshi, right? So or 405 Satoshis or whatever the small amount is, the dust limit. But yeah, I don't know. This is it's kind of sad to see, right? Like, we're both some people who played on Atomicals and wanted them to succeed, but some projects fail, some projects stop building, and some projects just try their best, like Tap, right? So this is kind of the opposite of what Tap did.
Yeah.
We do know that Tap and Track, aren't the most successful, but they're still building.
Yeah, and it's more about the adoption stuff, and for both of them, right?
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at the market caps over here. SoFon still has a $20 million market cap. Quark has
Wow.
$8 million market cap. So the market caps are there, but the volume just isn't, right? And so because there's no volume, and that's the thing that sucks about like the fungibles on Bitcoin, because like the market caps, like both ways, aren't necessarily
Yeah.
like accurate to what we're used to, like with liquidity pools. And so like a $20 million market cap, you're like, okay, that's still solid. Well, it's not pulling any daily volume. You know what I mean?
True.
And so
Yeah.
you're just kind of stuck in that asset. And that's why it's cool that they did do the backing of it. And so you can sell the Danny,
Doji.
actually, I'll shoot you a message. But yeah, basically, you can put them in a Unisat wallet, and then if you go into settings, you can turn off the ARC20 like support, and then that's how you can sell them.
Or just wait till April 4th, right?
Yeah,
And then they become Bitcoin.
One of the two.
So April 4th, Danny, they'll just show up as Bitcoin. So you'll just have extra Bitcoin in there. A couple questions here from our guy Drex. He says, guys, in your opinion, when will we have a legendary run similar to Ordinals, and what sector would it be? And of course, when? And he's like, damn, I miss those times. After March 2024, it feels like a bear market. I've been saying that, dude. It feels like we've been in a year-long bear market besides Bitcoin, with November being a little bit of a push-up. He's like, damn, I miss those times. He said it 3 times. But then he says, Udi definitely missed a moment. But do you want to get on this question? Which is, guys, in your opinion, when we will have a legendary run similar to Ordinals?
Yeah, so I mean, I think like to feel comfortable, I would say probably Q4 of this year is something maybe to look forward to, something similar, but it's not going to just be one sector. I think it's going to trickle down to like maybe like the a top 3 that's going to get like maybe heavy attention, and then maybe some of the other ones will get a little bit more. It's not going to be like 2021 and like early 2022 to where it like literally hopped to every EVM chain, and I'm talking billions of dollars of market cap, and I just don't see that necessarily. But what sector, AI's hot right now, still, even though we're down. But then I do think the Bitcoin ecosystem is going to also benefit a lot. So those are 2 that I'm looking at right now. So AI Tau, they have their subnets right now. It's like perfectly set up to where people are like, oh man, these subnets aren't really moving. The alpha tokens aren't moving. But then whenever it does come into like a bull market, like in Q4 possibly, that could benefit. Bitcoin ecosystem can benefit. And so that's what I'm looking to kind of have a safe mind, is just think Q4 for this year.
Yeah, to your point, yeah, and then you got RWA you can add in there too, real world assets. You think that's going to be a big deal, and then obviously you got our next guest here, Jake, what he's building with Tensor, right? So AI wallets are going to be a monster deal going forward, and having your AI as your assistant and helping you trade gives you back your time. Right, so let's kind of hop into that. We got my man Jake here. If you guys don't know what Emblem Vault is building, they're building multiple things, but their main thing is hustle. Hustle is going to be absolutely extraordinary, especially in the future. Every single day, there's new updates with that, and technical difficulties come with that. But I truly believe once the dust is settled and there's a few winners, you're going to see obviously Anon, you're going to see potentially Orbit, but you're going to see Emblem Vault at the top of that list as well, and potentially it could eventually be number 1. I mean, right now it's number 3. Tensor is number 3 on Cookie DAO, right? He's been there for a while, just hanging out, and everyone's like, look at this little $1 million, $2 million token competing with the big dogs, and it's awesome to see. It's like that underdog feeling with Tensor.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the conditional trading to me is going to be the game changer, because, there are some people that don't necessarily want to participate in the degen part of every day. And, but if you can have a conditional like set of a prompt that has like a conditional consistent like strategy of taking, getting in good position, taking profits, don't be too greedy with it, and rinse, repeat. That's the game changer, in my opinion. That's what puts the everyday person at least more competitive. So I'm excited about that.
Yep. So without further ado, let's bring in Jake. Jake, welcome back to OnChain Revolution. Thanks so much for being here, man.
What's good, guys, dude? Good to talk. Yeah, it's crazy that Agent Hustle's token Tensorium is only at 1.5 million, where everyone else is like 20x, 50x type. Yeah, it's probably some of it the name. Honestly, I think Hustle didn't choose a good name for his token, to be honest. He chose a ticker that had the same ticker as somebody else, but it's AI, so it is what it is. But yeah, Adam and I just did a live stream right before this with Hustle, and we did one a few days ago. We're going to be doing probably 1 or 2 per week to showcase the product. Last one, he's been really good at finding entries so far. And what Yago said, once we get conditional executions up, which we're testing, maybe I'll talk about that in a second. Right now, he's good at finding. Then he'll be able to basically buy and sell automatically based off of whatever kind of take profit strategy that you have. If Adam and I here's one more example. So on the stream Wednesday night, we told Hustle, we said, we're going to be back streaming in 48 hours. What token do you think we should buy that'll go up 100% in the next 48 hours for us to come back? And he said it was Ghibli, and it actually went up 150%. But we didn't have conditional trading, so obviously when we came back, it wasn't sold, right? I could have manually sold it, but for the purposes of just the explanation, if we had that set up, he would have sold it and it would have been in profit. And all the other tokens that we had bought on the Wednesday stream, they all went up like 100, 200%. One of them went up 700%. So if we were able to just say, hey, take a 40% profit or something like that, we would have had a much larger portfolio return. But things are looking very promising, to be honest.
So it's Tensorium, and the TNSR is the ticker, right?
Yeah. So when Shannon deployed the token, we had kind of this like very infant version of the AI that Shannon. It was actually kind of more of like a side project for Shannon, building his own AI, and he asked what he wants the ticker to be, and the AI said Tensorium. I don't think Shannon knew that there was actually another TNSR ticker on Solana at the time. So when it was deployed, that's why it doesn't get verified. It's because it has the same one, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And I don't think it'll change anything once conditional based executions are live, once you're able to schedule things, once we integrate browser interactions where you could read information from any website. Once you have that, I think people will just rush the token. People will buy whatever token that you want, right? It could be any type of combination of letters.
Well, you only need people to buy. Just tell Hustle, buy your own token. Yeah, as much as you possibly can for me. And eventually when that, you can DCA into it for me. Hey, Tensor, buy $20 worth of this every single day.
Yeah. So Shannon, we're testing conditional based trading internally. Yesterday he had like a 76% gain or something like that. I actually think I put a tweet out about it, but I didn't reference that it was us on the back end. I think the portfolio is up like 300 or 400% in like a week. Obviously we're using small numbers, right? We're using like 0.1 SOL kind of thing for now. But it's really just proving the thesis right. And there's only one other team that I've really seen even mention anything about conditional trading, and that's Hayanon is the only other one. And they have a 16-person dev team, right? We have two devs working on it. Yeah. And then they have 10 million in funding and we don't, right? Yeah. And for us, it's like we're building, we're on par with them in some places. They're ahead of us in some, we're ahead of them in some other places. And we're shooting pretty high above our weight in comparison. But I think it's because we have an extremely talented team between everyone that's on the Emblem team to kind of put it all together. It's really exciting, honestly, watching this and seeing Shannon get excited about it and seeing it all come together. Super, super cool. Like a month from now, we're going to be in a completely different place.
I'm excited about that because that's definitely the aspect of Hustle that I want to use, like, consistently, because, making that decision of when to take profit. Some people have, I have issues with that sometimes, right? Like, but you take that, you take it out of your hands, you set a number, you let Hustle handle it. then you come back and you say, okay, awesome. Well, you did it for me, and it took like 2 hours, and now I'm good. Now let's look for the next opportunity. Instead of like, oh man, is it still going to continually go up? Do I want to take here? You just take it out. And I think this is going to compete with bots, trading bots, definitely outcompete them, I think. If it goes the way I think. Also, if it gets to a point where Hustle can be plugged into like a leverage platform as well, I think market makers might be a bit worried about them as well.
Yeah, so a few things. The internal name that we've kind of given the whole system is called AFK trading. This is actually by Shannon. It's called away from keyboard trading, right? So you just actually, you could go touch grass. That's what I call it, go touch grass kind of thing. But what the tooling is something that Wall Street's had basically for decades at this point. And it's used consistently in the stock market, stuff like this, all this type of like algorithmic automated trading. And in crypto, a lot of developers have been building bots of similar types, maybe not as advanced or sophisticated, but close, right, to where it takes it adds stop losses and takes profits and all these different things. So with this, and like what the DeFi AI sector is trying to do, is you're now creating an even playing field between, Wall Street's tooling, the developers' tooling, and retail's tooling, and you're all going to have access to pretty much the same exact thing, here over the next maybe year or so. And you think about an outcome of what happens then at that point if everyone has the same exact tooling, which has not happened in the history of trading outside of like maybe having privileged or insider information. You think, where does your edge lie then? I think it's going to be somewhere in this like creative field. So like with Hustle specifically, this system that we've built for conditional trading, what he does basically is he creates systems so you can trade, talk to him, and come together on what type of strategy you want to execute, right? Do you want to execute a high risk meme coin sniping type strategy, right? Or do you want kind of a lower risk Tensorium DCA strategy, where you want to take profit, or DCA over 5% dips and then sell the 10% kind of rips every single time, right? Or when we get a little bit further, right, you can, once we integrate like being able to mint tokens on Pump Fund, right, being able to deploy 50 tokens a day, right, off of all these different means that are aggregated off of off of Twitter or off of the internet, off of virality. Or once we add Bitcoin, which I think we're going to do Bitcoin next, once we have the Solana ecosystem really nailed down, right, you can have in market mate runes, which is basically what Casey was talking about, right, with his kind of agent thesis. And that's what we've been talking about for months already, of doing that. And so for what Casey has said with agents, he's not actually building it into the protocol itself. I forget what it's called. It's called like contracts or deeds, or I forget what the name he used was, but you could just multiple AI agents, like swarms, that are basically just market making it to make the market more efficient. And so Casey doesn't have to do this. Any team can do it. And so I think that's something that we would like to do with Hustle. Once we add Bitcoin, we could add a mini app for Pump Fund, for Ordinals, for runes, for any type of ecosystem. And then you just basically apply Hustle's conditional based execution system, where you come up with, hey, let's create a highly profitable but highly risky strategy of buying new runes, or buying the bricked dog on the floor and then trying to split it up into smaller lots and selling at a 10% premium or something like that, right? You could do like all kinds of different things once we get a little bit further down the road.
Will you be able to do like a prompt that is continuous until you reprompt him to stop?
Maybe. So it'd be like kind of like a perpetual condition. I don't know. I would have to ask Shannon on that. I think at some point you'd probably get rate limited based off of the inference cost.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have an answer for that. I would have to ask him.
Gotcha.
But that would be cool, right? If you can have kind of a
Yeah,
perpetual
because set
market
it,
maker
forget
kind of
it. Like for
strategy.
the safer ones, for the safer strategies, right? Like just set it and forget it. Whether it's constantly, we might let's say after we go through like a Q4 big run up, and then next year it's kind of bearish and it's just sideways for like 3 months. That's like a perfect opportunity to, buy a blue chip and just constantly take like a 10 to 15% profit and just rinse and repeat until you turn it off. So that would be amazing. I would love that.
Yeah, I guess you would be, if you think about it, you'd probably be bounded by the liquidity in your wallet, right? So if there was some sort of hiccup in that strategy and it, lost a portion of what the total portfolio amount was, and then maybe it falls out of bounds of whatever the kind of system is, maybe it just stops. But that's an interesting idea. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you could probably do, hey, buy the smallest amount on Magic Eden like once a day, right? Like you can just be like, hey, buy the floor once a day on Magic Eden, because Magic Eden works where now it's like the smallest you can list is like $999 worth of dog, right? There's limits now. But like I guess my next question would be, let's just say like I had like 20K in dog, $20,000 worth of dog, and I'm like, hey, I want to sell all my dog, and I want you to buy me a Taproot Wizard. Would something like that be possible with Hustle?
Of course, yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So he would. So how would that work? If with Magic Eden, would it be Runes decks or?
So we'd have to. So what Emblem uses currently, we use Best in Slot as kind of our API provider. So Best in Slot is an aggregator, right? Because they source, I guess you would say liquidity or just kind of deal for. I guess you like list. They source like listings and sales across all the different marketplaces.
Gotcha.
So whatever they have, unless we could use somebody else as well. We would use kind of their services to route all the different transactions. We would have the Bitcoin wallet set up. The cool part of like Agent Hustle is it runs on Emblem Vault technology, right? So, we could derive any wallet. We could derive a Bell's Coin wallet, or we can derive an ETH wallet or a Monad wallet or whatever we wanted. So all the wallets infrastructure is already there. We just don't have it turned on. So once we add the Bitcoin wallet interface, the UI, we would add a mini app for ordinals, which would be like an ordinals marketplace. We would add a mini app for runes. And then we obviously, Agent Hustle is the system itself. So you would have it. Yeah. So then you would have it, you'd create a system of, hey, take all of my dog and sell it, and you would just say, and then buy a Taproot Wizards, and it would go and sell it. It would have the Bitcoin, and if then it would check the balance to see if it was whatever the floor price of Taproot Wizards are, and then it would buy the Taproot Wizard, and then it would just sit there inside of your wallet, and it would probably display, because we'd have to turn on the visual aspect for NFTs as well, the metadata component to it. That's like the difference with NFTs and more complicated part, but yeah, could easily do that.
What about the UTXO problem? Let's just say that I have it all in one UTXO, and I need to break it down to potentially 20.
Yeah. I don't see why that shouldn't be an issue, because the way that we're building it is using state machines. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of just like in a yes or no situation. It would say, it would look at the UTXOs, or I guess it would look at dog and say, can I sell this in 20 transactions? And then it would look at it and say yes, no. And if it's no, then it would just go to the next selection. And it'd be like, do these need to be broken up? Yes, no, yes, how many? And then it just comes up with whatever the number is, and then goes kind of about that way. So shouldn't be an issue. But again, once we get there, I'll know a little bit kind of more about the information.
Sounds good.
Can be
Should
exciting.
we get into some trading?
Sure. Yeah. Do we want to? Do you want me to? Do you want me to run it from my screen?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's chill. I'll actually probably just run it based off of the same exact thing that Adam and I were doing. So give me 1 second, and I'll show it here.
So if 10th, Hustle is able to launch 50 tokens on Pump Fun a day, then now you have Now you have the launch tokens business model, which they just want to make like $50 to like $200 per token, and they're out to the next one. If you make $100 a token and you launch 20 tokens on average a day, that's $2,000.
Yeah, it's funny because
so
Adam and I did share screen too. If you want to pull it up here while I retweet and tell everyone that I'm on the stream.
Sorry.
yeah, you're good.
Where are? Yeah, let me see. All right.
So, guys, for anyone who doesn't know, this is AI Hustle. What is it? AI Hustle.
AgentHustle.ai.
AgentHustle.ai. AgentHustle.ai. Go, guys. Go there. Make an account. Do the directives. 100%. Highly recommend that. Adam was saying some stuff last Friday. He said it without saying it, but it was awesome. And I definitely want to do all the hustle directives, and potentially there's a reward column there as well, right? So, which is awesome. So definitely do all the directive, guys.
Yes, sir. 1 second. I'm posting this in our chat as well.
It already looks so much different.
Yeah, we've done so many updates to this already. It's crazy. So I'll go through kind of a tutorial. Would be the probably
you guys
best
got rid
way.
of the one. Oh no, it's still there. Rewards column is still there. I still see
it's still there. Yeah. So we've made some adjustments. So just kind of going through, what it looks like. So we have these directives. These are already done. It's just like a 6-click process of giving users an onboarding experience that kind of showcases how to go about the platform, right? So the first one is creating your vault, which is essentially creating your wallet inside the platform. Send is depositing SOL. Say hello is a pre-generated prompt. Swap, you swap for 25,000 tensor, which I believe is like $20 or $30 at today's value. And then you take a portion of that tensor, put it into the LP pool, and then Hustle recommends and buys one pump fund token for 0.01 SOL. Based off of kind of this like numbers and metrics values. So what you see here, excuse me, is the main page. This is the vault. So up here is your API key. This would be the essential, your seed is the equivalent of your seed phrase or your private key. We use smart wallets inside. So that's why it's an API key. That's how it interacts and talks with the AI agent. These different buttons is deposit. So if I put here 1 SOL, then it'll deposit from my Phantom wallet that's connected. And then this one is send. So you could just send the different tokens to whatever wallet that you'd like. And then this is mobile. So it's not live yet, but it's about 50% done. It's Hustle bot. So we'll have a Telegram bot for Agent Hustle. Once we get the infrastructure a little bit more sound with the conditional trading and some other kind of tools, which I'll show you here in a second. You'll have him on Telegram, and I think he'll be the first Telegram bot, at least unless something happens in the next month, that has an LLM integrated into your Telegram trading bot experience. So we believe that will give you a very good experience. Right here is tokens, your LP positions, and then the transactions within your wallet. These are all things that we've added. The tokens here, you can buy instantly, you can sell instantly, and then this is a chart button. So it shows the charts here, which a bunch of people asked. Right now, this is kind of just an overlay over the LLM. Eventually, we'd like to have the chart inside of the LLM, but we're just not currently all the way there yet. And so with sell, the reason why we have this like crossover experience where you could manually do this or you could do it through the LLM is the AI agents sometimes are a little bit faster at certain things and they're a lot slower at other things. Like single type transactions, if I wanted to swap SOL for Jupiter, it would be much faster to just do it directly into the swap tool than it would be to ask him to buy Jupiter, because then he has to go figure out what's the right Jupiter, look at all these metrics, and then actually execute it. But if you wanted to do like a multi-transaction where you want him to buy 5 or 10 tokens, and it's probably a lot faster to do it through the prompt and some other kind of things. So you can manually swap, you can manually create a pool. This is where you check. So you could go in and deposit, or you can do it through the prompt where you can say, hey, take Pith and Soul and put it into the LP pool. And then this is our Pump Fund mini app, where you can see newly created, about to graduate, and recently graduated. And the cool part here,
Huge upgrade.
I was using that a lot.
yeah,
The about to graduate and the recently graduated. That's
yeah,
at least you know that they're not going to die like in 2 seconds.
yeah. So we added quick buy buttons, but also we started doing these buttons, the details, where it takes a pre-generated prompt and puts it into the LLM, and then it comes up and gives you all of the information, right? So we felt like this kind of crossover experience was really important when we were testing out some other DeFi AI platforms. It was just an LLM terminal, and we felt like there was no context or information about what you could actually do. So we felt like those things were building a little bit more towards advanced traders, because you're going there with a specific purpose, because there isn't as much visual information. So doing this, we felt like, is a little bit more friendly towards new users, because you can have this detail, you could get this extra type of information, but then you still get somewhat of this traditional feel of what's going on here. And something we've added just recently is this trenches tool. So you could come in, sort by 5 minutes, 6 hours, 24 hours. So if we go by 5 minutes, you could see the trending, and it shows you the different trending tokens. Like this Buckazoids has 52,000 in volume over the last 5 minutes. You can come over to the popular ones, new, organic. So we felt like this was pretty good. And also similar experience here. You could come right here and click the chart, and it shows you what's going on there. Or you could come and hit the information button, and he'll give you even more stats of what's going on with like Ghibli. This is like the meme coin runner that's going on right now. And eventually we're going to add like a quick buy button here. And so much more. And then with tools, these are the next mini apps that we're going to be adding is DCA limits, limit orders, and copy trader, wallet watcher. That seems to be like a pretty hotly requested thing to do. A few more I's and T's to dot before I close this up. You can see here, right? You get all of this extra information about what's been going on. A features request up in the top right. We just added a slippage setting, so you can, in these DeFi apps, you can change your settings to whatever you'd like, and it kind of moves to let you know if this is low or normal, or what the average kind of setting is between swaps, pumps, and liquidity. So that's kind of the tutorial. One underutilized thing that I've seen so far, you can upload images, and because Hustle has a memory, you can try to apply the different trading strategies or just images to the LLM to then hopefully will improve, like this awesome combination of having a memory, conditional executions, and having browser interactions. And I think if we have all three of those, you should have a very kind of all-in-one experience where you should be able to do pretty much anything your creative mind can explore. So
one thing I was having some issue with, and there's already features here that I didn't see, and I used it last I think I want to say like 2-3 days ago. So good job on constantly adding. Was trying to figure out how bundled these tokens were. I couldn't really get a straight answer. Is there a way to do that, or is that something you guys are working on, adding that information?
So one feature, a few features we're working on. One of them is a pretty hotly requested kind of concept, and there's no straightforward answer to it. And it's this idea of like rug protection or anti-fraud or anti-copy. So there has been a few cases where a user has asked him to buy a token, like a trending meme coin, and he bought like a copy one.
Yeah.
So figuring out how to ensure that he's buying the right one is something that Shannon and dev team is working on. Also, asking him, you can ask him, if he thinks this token will rug or not. He does have some information. He doesn't have access to bubble maps yet. That'll probably help with the bundling situation.
Gotcha.
Right. It adds different things like rug check and some other kind of features. So we're working towards that. It is not live right now. He pretty much just has access to Bird Eye, which is like where a lot of the Solana token information comes from, and then a few different social integrations as well. So he is working off quite limited information for the type of experience that he's doing. But what I've found so far is he's really good at finding tokens kind of early. The exit is kind of the next thing that we're working on. And yeah, the automated entry and exit is kind of what's next.
Nice.
So do we want to find some tokens? Is that the
Let's do
let's-
it. Let's do it.
Let's go a little DGen if you won't mind. Can you try to see if you can find me 1,000x?
Oh my gosh.
yeah?
I'm
So
gonna turn $18 into 18,000. Can Hustle help me
So,
with this?
I want to find a one. So actually, we'll say So I want to find a 1000x.
No way it's that easy.
It's not that easy. In a high risk,
I was about to say, like, find me 1,000x. Okay.
in a high risk
there we go.
strategy. What options do we have?
Could you read it out loud again? So
So I said I want to find a 1000x in a high risk strategy. What options do we have? And so he'll come up with like different types of options here, and so you can see
early IDO.
some of these things though he doesn't have access to. So some of the high risk ones, right? Early stage pump fund tokens, concentrated liquidity positions. Then he gives kind of a little bit information on it, right? Airdrops. Multi-layer yield farming, IDO. So let's go with choice number 1 and then apply it to the current market conditions. So I said, let's go choice number 1 and apply it to the current market conditions. So he's been good. You can see up here to the top 2, it says hustle syncing.
Yeah.
We've been using so many inference credits. There has been a handful of cases of being rate limited. So if he ever stops talking, you can literally just say hi or continue, and then he'll continue. If that still doesn't happen and you do 3 or 4 in a row, and he's not responding, it means that Anthropic's rate limiting us. We're trying to get this enterprise package, but they're making it like very difficult to even get in contact with them. But it is something that we're working on. So just want to kind of add that. And then as well as another kind of, I guess you would say, a note. So his memory, he has good memory, but if there's something specific that you need him to remember, just say, remember this. And he actually stores it into his memory bank. And you can actually see the conversation of him saying that he's storing. So like on this, for example, on that stream that Adam and I were in, and also to what Adam and I did is if you actually, here, actually, I will do this to help with you guys to see. Does that help?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just zoom in,
I'm just copy trading you. That's why.
Awesome.
yeah, right. There were people on the live stream who actually were copy trading us. Right. It's kind of interesting, but if you need him to remember something specific, like your trading strategy that you're working on or whatever, just say, hey, Hustle, please remember this, and you'll actually see that he stores it in his memory bank.
Nice.
So there's still a lot of cracks in it, but it's getting better. So he came up, he said, let me pull some trading strategies for pump fund tokens to identify 1000x returns. So I've identified several brand new tokens created in the last hour. The first one is Dave Blunt's Airsoft Fatty 69. The current market cap 6,000, 6 holders. It's 8 buys versus 1 sell. There's
I love it.
YouTube.
It doesn't get more degen.
Dude, the very first token is exactly what I've been describing. Look, it says YouTube link included.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're just doing $2, I guess that's a different, Yeah,
Adam and I have been using just like 0.01. He even recommends here, right? Small position 0.02 to test the waters. Yeah. So that was so he only gave us just one recommendation. Yeah. And so he's coming in and saying use 0.02 holder growth, looking for 50 plus people in the first 24 hours. The target is 5x in 12 hours. Says that you need to see some social media mentions on Twitter, and then some communication from, assuming, the Twitter account. His exit strategies: take 20% at 5x, take 30% at 20x, hold the remaining 50% for potential graduation to Radium, where the 100x becomes possible. So
this could actually be conditional, though.
Yeah. So once we have conditional, you could just say execute the strategy, and he'll just execute the entire thing.
Love it.
Right. So we're just not there yet. So what's important is and we tell users to practice with this where it is today. Get used to prompting, get used to crafting different types of trading strategies with him. Because once you have this conditional stuff live, you just execute whatever he recommends, or we could even go back and forth and we could change it. So watch, we'll kind of tinker around with it and say, he says strictly limit the initial investment to $2. Basically, he would set a stop loss at 50%. He says that you could diversify against different tokens than going all in one. So he says if you put $2 in, potential is $2,000. Realistically, the maximum would be within 1 to 14 days if the token graduates. Success rate approximately 1 in 50 tokens achieve 1,000x return.
So $100. So $100 you're spending, and if it happens, then you get 2,000. I'm game.
No, $2 to get 2,000.
I know, no, but 1 in 50 tokens, though, right?
Yeah.
So you do it 50 times, and I'm playing the statistics on that.
You just
right?
one.
You know what I mean? Like that.
100%.
Obviously, that's a good investment to me.
Yeah. So I've been messing with Hustle 2 right now, and it had me buy a token. Well, it didn't have me do anything. It suggested if I was interested in the 1,000x that I'm asking him, potentially the token called Flat Uselin coin. And I was like, all right, go put 0.15 in that. And he executed it with no problem. So that was pretty cool.
So do we want to execute on this, or do we want to look for other ones? I could ask him for different types of recommendations.
I'm ready, bro.
I was looking at the chart for that one. I don't know. I think you should find another one. It's a 2.3K market cap.
How do I see the chart?
Well, that's how you get the So right now, because we don't have the
Gotcha. Oh, you go to the one.
Yeah. So right now it just gives you a link to Deck Screener, or you could come on and kind of click and look at it. Right. Mm-hmm. Eventually we'd like to have it built into the AI. We're just not really there yet. Yeah. Because the things that you upload into the AI or the LLM, they're not interactive. So it would just be an image. So the chart, we have to figure out how to make the chart interactive and moving while it's inside of the agent itself. So it's just not really there yet.
But like a token like this, though, right? To where like it obviously went up and then went down really quick, and now it's sitting at like $2,300. So like is Hustle saying that this is still worth the $2 investment because you can do this over like 50 coins similarly, and eventually one might come back that's similar to this?
Let's ask him. Why do you think this strategy is optimal for a return? Would it be better if we same strategy? What was it across 50 tokens? That was?
Yeah.
That's gonna be wild when you're able to say, "Hey, buy me the top 50 tokens on Pump."
I'll do that every day. I'll do it every day. I'll do it every day. If it, like, even if, let's say like he only hits like 1 out of like 150. I spent $300. I still have a $1,700 profit.
Yeah. Or I mean, damn, dude. I mean, even if he had 1 out of 1,000, so
I know, like you can go as far as you want, but like there's gonna be some point where you're looking over there and you're like, Hustle, you ain't hit yet. But I'm just kidding.
It depends on it's market conditions as well too. If that's the thing too. If you only do it when Bitcoin's green, you probably have a better opportunity at hitting one of those with Hustle.
Yeah. yo, but like once Hustle like has this down, and then they're able to like bring other environments like the Bitcoin side, but like Odin or like even BNB or whatever, with Moonshot and stuff. That's where I think like the game can really get ratchet, like up, can ratchet up the game there.
So the question or the prompt I put in is, why do you think this token with this strategy is optimal for return? Would it be better if we applied the same strategy across 50 tokens to have a 100% hit rate? So he said the DBAF 69 token shows early indications for positive buy pressure, healthy liquidity. So kind of references a YouTube personality, which can drive viral adoption. So this is just like the token or the burn. So the 50 token strategy, you're absolutely right about diversification. The strategy across 50 tokens would dramatically, 150 tokens hit, total risk remains the same, removes the psychological pressure. Yeah. So he hasn't really given us anything specific about it so far, at least implementation.
Well, no, I think that's good though, because I think he's explaining that it does remove the psychological pressure per like token that you're in. You just blanket 50 tokens at $2 each. But like, I wouldn't try this until like conditional comes out, right? Because that's where I think like it's gonna make sense.
Yeah. So here he says, take 1 SOL, put 0.02 SOL per token, deployed over 1 to 2 weeks, 10 to 15 tokens per day. Focus on tokens with unique names, social media presence, developer commitment, visible in the initial liquidity. Early buy, said the expected outcomes, conservative case, 1 token hits 100x, so you get 2x your total investment. Target though, 1 token hits 1000x, 20 SOL return, 20x investment. Optimistic case, 2 to 3 tokens hit 100x, so it gives you a 40x overall. These type of strategies is what like the people who launch tokens on Pump Fund consistently do, right? Like there's like one guy who's famously launches, it's like 20 or 30 tokens per day, or no, per hour. He's been doing it for like months, and he makes like a 50% profit, I think, total or something like that. But it's just like a strategy that he just continues to do because it has returns.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so with conditional, we could do this. Okay, should we do something a little bit more conservative or something?
Yeah. Let's just kind of show the audience like what it would be like to actually get into something.
Yeah. So let's back out of this. We'll do a multi-buy. I want to purchase 3 tokens and the more specific you get in this, the faster the execution is. So if I say I want to purchase 3 tokens for 0.0, I'll just do 0.02 SOL each, which are trending tokens that could see a 25% return over the next 4 hours. What would you recommend? So I said, okay, let's back out of the strategy. I want to purchase 3 tokens for 0.02 SOL ETH, which are trending tokens. I could see a 25% return over the next 6 hours, I think I put, or 4 hours. What do you recommend? So he's now analyzing. He puts up this chart. Those are the trending tokens on Solana. So I think this is actually from Bird Eye. His view. I think those are kind of like, I think that's the Bird Eye trending tokens chart. So he has 3. So South Parkification is one. Chatty GBT, Gore. So those are the 3 my recommended. With 0.02 SOL each. Let me see. So South Parkification, let's open this up and look at it. This is a $70,000 market cap.
Yeah, I see that one.
Yeah, it looks like it's rugged already. So something we need to build into him is being like, has it had a 90% decline? I'll ask him and see what he says. I kind of just want to look at it so we can kind of test him here to see. So Chatty GBT is a trender, right? Look at this. That looks like a good buy.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
That one looks like a
Look
good
at that.
buy. And then
Chatty.
Gore.
Ooh,
See,
Gore.
Gore doesn't look too bad, right? Chatty GBT looked the best one, right? That actually looks like a buy.
Chatty
right?
GBT is at like $1.2 million
Ye-
market cap. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it looks healthy. The chart looks healthy.
Right. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say find me more charts or tickers that are similar in volume to Chatty GPT. So basically, I just asked him, I said, find me more tokens. Oh, here, I can see. So I basically said, find me more tokens that look like Chatty. And so he said he's looking for them.
Doug,
right? And we will buy some here just to kind of show everyone what it looks like. Just kind of going through. I find new stuff on here all the time of how we respond, which is kind of cool. So 3 other recommendations. It looks like. Oh, so he has a few. Andrea.
Oh, Moji's actually looks like pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a lower market cap too. It's like 67. I mean, it looks risky, but it doesn't look. It looks kind of not horrible.
Yeah. So Moji, it looks like it's about to graduate pretty soon. So Moji. So maybe we'll have him buy Moji and Chatty. So you can kind of see. Yeah.
Emoji?
So you can see like that one, Disneyfication looks like it rugged. But the cool part here is, right, you can kind of just go back and forth and look at this stuff. A Sleuthy looks like not too bad, right? That's decent. Looks like it has some legs. But it helps you kind of like vet and like sort through all the bullshit. And it really just kind of saves you a lot of time here. And right, so you can automatically. So I'm gonna say buy Chatty. What was the other one? Moji.
Mm-hmm.
Moji and let's see. I'll do Sleuthy. Sleuthy for 0.02 sold each.
And he can buy all 3 with one prompt.
Yep.
Oh wow.
That's why I said it's great for doing like multi kind of transactions.
Yeah.
So here, and then I said execute immediately so that he doesn't have
he doesn't like confirm and check with you.
Yeah, so that's a little bit of kind of like a hack. You could just say that, or just say, don't ask me again to approve, or different things like that. But it's a safety mechanism for the most part. So right now what he's doing, he's getting the quotes for each of them. It looks like, so Chatty is graduated, Sleuthy is not graduated, I think, or Moji was not graduated. And so these are actually like different pools to which he's getting different quotes from, between like the pump fund pre-bonded ecosystem and then the graduated ones. And so for these, he'll take a little bit longer. You could see he kind of goes in and out of thinking. So he's still there. Just kind of got to wait for a second. And, he'll go ahead and buy these and you'll see the confirmation, and then it will pop up in the balances. And so it looks like, he's executing them now. Get free 0.02 sold each. Yeah, so he got the quotes now. So that he got the quotes for each. So now he's actually going through with the transaction for each of them. And we'll see, how long. I think the strategy was, we'll go through the strategy with him after this to see what it is. And, once we have this conditional based stuff, right, he's bought them, you could just say execute at these or sell at these values for whatever you come up with it. And it just sells. And so you don't actually have to, it takes away a little bit of the emotion out of trading. Probably be a lot better for most of us, because I also too am not the best at taking profits. I'm generally just a long-term kind of holder. For the most part, fits my lifestyle a little bit better.
Yeah. Once conditional is out, are you guys going to kind of slow roll it for like certain groups of
thinking
users?
there's usually when the transaction is executed, you'll see a kind of confetti animation that pops up, and it'll be done. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, even after it's been executed. So you could see, I think he actually bought them already. Let me see for a second. Yeah, see, so he's bought 2 of them already. So I had to zoom out, but you can see down here in the bottom, Moji and Chatty, he's bought. So you can actually come up here and see, but the whole prompt is not done. So sometimes if you just want to move faster, so we can go ahead and go look at Chatty and see where it is, right? Kind of at that similar spot to where we bought. Oh, you saw the confetti. So
Oh yeah,
you should be done now. Now he'll say that I've successfully kind of executed all of it. If I refresh here, it'll probably say unknown token. Oh, Sleuthy's there. So sometimes on the left-hand side, it's not showing now, but it'll say unknown token. That's some of the pump fund tickers will say unknown. So it's just something we're kind of working on still. But Moji looks good.
Ooh.
Right. Moji looks good. We got Chatty and then Sleuthy.
So,
And so
after
what I
you own
recommend
them,
too,
you're able to see the chart
for the most part, is to sell through these buttons. It's just a lot faster when you're talking with them to just go here, hit max, and then just sell. So it looks like a few of these are a little bit lower on the buy. So this one's up already. Moji's up like 5% from the buy.
Ooh.
Chatty is down about 5%. And Sleuthy's down about, was that 10, 15% from the buy? So you can have a lot of fun with this. Now you could say, now let's create an exit strategy. What do you recommend on where we should sell for these tokens?
And I love how he says, "I'll make sure you leave a small amount for the transactions." Like,
and so
it's
you
really
just sit
smart,
here and
like,
you just kind of go back and forth all day with different type of stuff.
Yeah.
And this is why we have these mini apps here, is that while he's loading, you can go ahead and you can already be getting analysis from him on the right-hand side, and you can already kind of be looking for the next token here on the left, right? So you're looking at the chart for Tickcoin, seeing if you want to buy it while he's coming up with the analysis on the right-hand side for his strategy. See?
yeah. Hey, Jake, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear us, does he?
Yeah, I think it's once we add Bitcoin, I think up here at the top, probably somewhere by Tensor, it'll be a drop-down button, and so you'll be able to flip between Bitcoin, Solana.
Yeah. Shizzy, can you hear me?
But then the chat
Okay.
box itself will be inclusive of all of them, but the mini apps will be most likely sorted by chains.
Yeah. I don't think you can hear us, can you?
Uh-oh. I don't think you can hear us. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Hold on. Did I lose you guys?
I was wondering what that was.
I asked him a question. I was like, okay. He's in the zone. No, but do you know if Moji's graduated, Shizzy? Because I think it did.
Yeah, I think so. I think it did too.
Because it has that lock with the circle around it, so that means the liquidity is locked, right?
I'm pretty sure. Now I can't hear you now.
Technical difficulties. Hustle's taking over Jake's computer.
Yeah, Hustle now. Hustle said, "I'm the man now. I'm the captain now."
So, I mean, would you do that strategy though that I was talking about?
Probably not me personally.
Yeah.
I just don't like the pump fun stuff.
Yeah. But like, listen, would you just try it for fun though? Like, just like
oh yeah, for sure. With $100,
right?
yeah.
$2.
I can't hear you guys. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you still can't hear us? Dang, something's wrong with his headphones. I mean, it has to be his headphones because you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, nothing changed.
We got Memetics in the chat says, "What's up, fellas?" He is a community member of ours now too. thank you so much for supporting the show. But definitely an OG community member of Emblem as well.
So I can't hear you guys anymore. I don't know what happened. Well, I think we're good anyway. I'll go. Any last words for the audience? We can hear you.
Oh, he bounced out.
And he's gone.
Yeah,
But,
he'll probably try to jump in here in a second. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, what's your
dude,
what's your feel so far?
Phenomenal, bro. I just made $9.
Did
Or
you?
an $18? Yeah, I made $9. I got into that token for I can't even say what it was. And then I made it up a little bit and I got out of it. And then I got in front run. And yeah. Hey, can you hear us?
What is good, guys? I don't know what
Can you hear
happened.
us? Good.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can hear you guys now.
Okay.
Oh,
Awesome.
cool.
Awesome.
Must have been a StreamYard thing.
That was could you guys hear me the whole time though, or no?
Yeah.
You heard the whole time.
You were
Okay.
doing great, like explaining it, but like I asked you a question and you
Oh.
kept talking, and I was like, oh, he must be in the zone. But
Yeah, that was weird. If you want to put the screen back up, I can kind of show you. We can kind of wrap it up there. That was weird. That's the first time that's ever happened to me on StreamYard. What question did you have?
oh, I was asking. So once the conditional gets rolled out, are you guys gonna kind of do some beta testing for like with a small group rollout, or how are you gonna do it?
It's a good question. So I think we're going to roll. I think what we're going to do is we're probably going to do a maybe 7 to 14 day free trial period where it's just going to be public for people to use. Obviously, there's going to be a warning, and then most likely it's going to be token gated behind Tensorium token.
Love it.
For the most part. So I would recommend having somewhere between 100,000 to 250,000 tensor. I think is like what we're considering. It's like 1 SOL or 2 SOL.
Okay.
So it's really not like an insane amount. Obviously, though, Tensor is at a $1.5 million market cap. So, right, it 10x's, it goes to 15 million, and now all of a sudden it's a 10 SOL kind of requirement. Which for us is fine because we consider this a premium service.
Yeah, sure.
And then, you know, maybe over time, it gets scaled down to basically anybody can have access to it. But we're kind of looking at it as like a premium or luxury product for the more sophisticated type people who are interested in this stuff. And right, it's just like kind of when a Tesla came out, it was $100,000, and now the Model 3 is 30,000, right? So we kind of have a similar philosophy to it. And it would be good to have, you know, initially after the free trial period, people find success, then, you know, there's probably going to be a larger demand on the token and the value of it for people to use. And yeah, we'll see. You know, it could also go horrifically wrong when this is live as well, right? But I don't think it'll be that case.
Could
but
go
that's a good question.
though.
Yeah,
as well.
That's the idea, right? I mean, we want to add value back to Tensorium. The token gated intelligence concept, I think, is great, and it'll likely be in the form of staking as well. So you'll probably have to lock up that Tensorium for a while, probably 30 days or so. That's the first. This is like one of the first times I said it publicly on video. So that's like new.
And it's live too. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I mean, you know how I market myself and the product is if you just continue to follow me, you know, I'll put different types of information out in different ways across different channels, and those who, you know, seek alpha can find it. But really exciting for that. I think we're probably a few weeks away. Is what it sounds like, more than months.
Love it, man. What you guys are doing, I mean, just the past 4 days, I think the transformation of Hustle, especially since last Friday. I mean, oh my God, the differences are insane. I can't imagine what it's going to look like next week if you guys keep up the same pace. Hopefully you slow down and let me catch up. Let me start seeing what I got going.
Don't slow down. I need conditional.
Bro, we're cruising, man. We're moving at a very fast rate. Right now, what we're working on, so we have kind of Shannon, who's the founder of the company, is working on the AI side of things. And then we have another developer who's very motivated, very, very brilliant, who's working on basically the mini apps kind of section. He moves very quickly, which is nice. But so Shannon is working on right now creating the state machines and conditional trading, but also making it very much more efficient. We're burning right now probably a few $100s a day in inference credits. So that stacks up quite quickly. The founder of AI XBT posted yesterday that AI XBT is burning about 10,000 a month in inference credits. And we're probably about the same, if not,
Really?
you
Okay,
know,
awesome.
within
Wow, yeah.
10 to 20% either way, depending on the day. Shannon believes we can actually make that a much more efficient once this conditional system is up, because we can direct the inference credits to one way. Right now, basically how it works is when you see he's talking, you'll see he's saying like getting quote, getting this, doing this, going this way. Each time he does that, that's like an inference credit. Whereas we can basically optimize that away to where just the end is kind of the AI aspect, or at least one hopes. But yeah, this shit is not cheap.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys can do with like potentially having your own server in the future, potentially having your own compute going where you guys are technically mining compute for Hustle?
I have seen a few crypto products pop up that are pointing in this direction. More specifically, we actually talked with somebody in Denver about this exact kind of situation. And so we're exploring it. We started Adam started talking with Eric Voorhees from Venice to see, you know, what that option is. Then we started talking to a few others. Just my experience in this AI space over the last 4 months or so, 5 months that we've really been in it. We launched the token 4 months ago, which seems like a year. To me, inference is going to be the new data, just as data was the new oil. I think inference is going to be the new data, is kind of where I think society is going to be headed, because this is why Grok or XAI and ChatGPT or OpenAI and all these companies are spending so much. It's just not efficient in today's current situation.
Me personally, like I have a couple computers that I could potentially plug in and give someone compute, right? Like technically, like use them to kind of mine compute and then earn a token with that. Like technically, you're mining. That would be pretty cool if someone could earn the TNSR token, for just giving you guys potential compute in the future.
Save money on.
That's a cool idea.
Save money on what you guys are spending for those. What are they called? Instances.
Inference.
Inferences. Yeah.
Inference. Yeah. Inference is just like it's like the aggregation of all these different APIs that are put together to then put, so it takes all the different inputs, mixes it together, and then gives you an output of it.
Gotcha.
So that's where the predictive model is. That's what makes these things feel like they're intelligent, is because it's just making predictive text based off of whatever the information is that's being put. And so these large companies like Anthropic and OpenAI and stuff are doing the inference, and then they're routing it to these different servers for the actual kind of computation aspect of it.
Yeah.
At least from what I've learned, man, it's been a crash course for sure.
Well, it's been absolutely awesome, Jake. We're hitting that hour mark, man. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming on. It's fun trading with you, getting some pump funds. Hopefully some of these 100x and you guys participated in that too. But Jake, we'd love to give you the floor one last time before we get out of here.
Yeah, always enjoy the conversation. Just keep looking for Agent Hustle. We're really leaning into it. Emblem 2.0 as well. We started laying down smart contracts today and over the weekend to be focusing on a handful of chains to start moving assets around there. And couldn't be more excited about the future. But the AI stuff, man, it is mind blowing. Some of the pace that not only we're working at, but where just the overall industry is in crypto and outside of. So definitely not something to fade. I think it's going to be by far the largest trend of crypto over the next few years.
I agree with that. And one of our community members, Superfan, which is building Big Noodle, is deep in kind of AI. That's what it's about. So he said maybe you guys should team up and stuff like that. So that could be cool too.
Yeah, shoot me a DM. We're always happy to talk. We just went on an AI show yesterday. We're talking with all kinds of different individuals. The AI space is small, but it is a little bit diverse and siloed between one another. So please just reach out to me, DM at JakeGallen _ on Twitter, and happy to have a conversation.
Awesome. All right, Jake. Well, we appreciate you as always, and I look forward to next week.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. You'd have a good one.
You too.
Too, man.
Bye.
Yeah. And this real quick, I just want to hit on his Twitter right here. This is it right here. Super fan. You want to reach out to him? It's at Jake Gallon _ and yeah, so make sure it's the one with 34.1 followers, and you can send him a DM. But yeah, as it goes for anyone building anything that would like to get in touch with Jake, he's very open to taking calls of pretty much anyone. So appreciate that. But man, it was an insane week. Wasn't as bullish as I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't as bearish as it could have been either. So I'm really hoping next week's better. Hopefully we get out of the big bad wolf that we call tariffs out of the way on Tuesday. Start a new month, start a new quarter, start a new life. That's
do
next
it.
week. Yeah, man.
Yep, guys. And 305 people hanging out with us on a Friday. Amazing session with Jay Gallen from Emblem, showing you guys the AI side, and amazing show as well. We had some great topics, you guys interacting with us, and we appreciate you guys so much. And if you could check out our partners, it would help us out a ton, guys, because they're kind of the second part of what allows us to do that. And you guys are the biggest part, by supporting us. And Emblem Vault, we just went over that. I'll touch on them real quick again. They are going to be the interoperability tooling. You're going to be able to jump your puppets, node monks, other ordinals to different environments like Abstract, Merlin, Base, Arbitrum, stuff like that, and eventually Solana as well. And you can use Agent Hustle to help you do that, so you don't have to go through the tedious process of that. Also, they're going to have a TGE in September, which is going to be a rune, and you can learn all about that at emblem.vision. And BetBTC is the predictions marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. All you need is an Xverse wallet, or actually any Bitcoin wallet that they accept, and some Bitcoin and 6 Bitcoin blocks. You can start placing bets in their markets right away. They have their new Blitz markets that is really fun. You get there's a countdown that goes every 10 minutes and it resets, and you can pick if you think Bitcoin, BNB, or Solana. You can pick one of the three is going to go up or down within the next 10 minutes. So every running clock is a 10-minute, full 10-minute session. And so you pick your side, and then another 10 minutes runs to see if you won or not. Super fun stuff, but be responsible with it. And then you can place bets in their other predictions markets as well. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And Artura Finance is the perps and leverage decks of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to allow you to trade synthetic Bitcoin fungibles like Sats, Ordi, Doggo to the Moon, other runes as well, and popular tokens outside of the ecosystem like XRP and Tau. They're going to have ways for you guys to earn passively if you stake in their vaults for their perps deck. So a lot of exciting stuff. We are planning to do a pre-recorded roundtable with some, experienced traders that you guys can kind of pick their brain, go through what their strategies are, and we're going to have a little friendly competition during that, so look out for that probably next week. But you can learn more all about Artura. They are launching on Hemi Bitcoin Layer 2 very soon, which is backed by Binance, so pretty strong backing there for Hemi. You can learn all about that at artura.finance. And Fluid tokens, they were the first to introduce staking vaults to you guys on Bitcoin Layer 1 for retail. But right now, they really want to emphasize, building that community continuously on their Discord. So make sure you guys go visit their Discord. It's really easy to get connected there, and you can ask questions if you have an established Ordinal community, or you etched a room with an established community and want a staking vault. You can go directly here and ask them. They said that they will have someone on their staff always answer y'all's questions. So, seems to be really, active in there. So just be a part of that community. It's really exciting. And don't forget, they are building the interoperability between Bitcoin and Cardano. So very soon, you're going to be able to bridge from a trust minimized way using BitVM and sharding, which is going to be amazing. To bridge Doggo to the Moon to possibly MinSwap or something like that, where you can add liquidity. So these runes are going to be everywhere, guys. Super exciting that Fluid's a part of that. You can learn more at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain is your #1 scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a retail user and you want to swap for Doggo to the Moon, you can do so at merlinswap.org. They have a strong liquidity pool there. You can use your Merlin token, your rep BTC, or even stables to swap for Doggo to the Moon there. And there's some other runes as well that they have there, like the Bitmap token. Also, don't forget, if you want to be a part of securing the chain with Merlin Chain, you can use your Merlin tokens and stake your Merlin tokens directly at merlinchain.io and click on the staking option there, and you can earn 15% APR. And they are going to be integrating Bitcoin to be a part of that, proof of stake for securing the chain as well. Very exciting stuff. You can learn all about that at merlinchain.io. And lastly, don't forget about our integrated partners and Foxy AI building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Cypher Striker, which we live stream typically every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. We'll give you guys a heads up if we're going to be doing it this week, because they have had to do some changes, some tweaks to the game. But all you need is a Bitcoin wallet or one of their supported wallets. I believe they support Phantom and possibly Magic Eden as well. Anybody can play. You just got to get your wallet, log in, and then pick a clan. And then we start playing at 3 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and live streaming that. So really fun stuff. They got some other updates, so I'm going to let them announce that before we get into them, which are really exciting. But and then lastly, Ordinal Hive is the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for the Bitcoin ecosystem. The cheapest Ordinals around on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2 on Merlin Chain will be at Ordinal Hive. And we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. If you guys wouldn't mind checking out OnChainRevolution.io, we have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel it can help them get started and code up to where we are today. You guys need a VPN. Every single person should have VPN, whether it's Nord or another one. Get a VPN. There's no reason to go to these sites and just give out your address. And you guys know, you'll go to something, sign into Google sometimes, and it'll send you, hey, someone's trying to come in for me, for instance, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I don't want that. I don't want anyone to know where I'm at, right? Like I like my privacy. And with Nord VPN, you get that. I don't know what some of the other ones, if you can see through them or whatever, but I personally love Nord. I think I paid $36 for the year. So definitely highly recommend. It's like $3 a month. I highly recommend Nord. Don't pay the $10 a month. If you go to their site regular, they'll get you to pay the $10 a month. Don't do that. Get the yearly, pay the $36 a month. Use our link here, 70% off coupon using our link. So definitely check that out. If you're going to Bitcoin at 2025 Las Vegas, it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, but do not wait until May to get your tickets. I think the conference is May 25th or something like that, but do not wait. Do not buy them in May. Just don't even go if you're going to buy them in May. Get them as soon as possible. The prices go up, and they go up extraordinarily fast, especially in May. Get your tickets today. Get them through us. Click our link. It helps the show. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, we have it here in our store. That will take you to our third-party Shopify, and you guys can get anything you guys want from there. We have pretty much everything. And if there is something that you want us to add, say, yo, Shizzy, I want to get my Nuki, I want to get my Goosenal on a shirt, we would have no problem doing that for you guys, and you could go to the store and buy it yourself. We appreciate you guys, man. And just remember, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 3 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys, and until Monday.
Peace.
OnChain Revolution roll call. Market recap. You not bullish enough. No. You're not bullish enough. No. Look at the price go. Bitcoin control. Why you still coping? Price action rolling. Don't fall for bear trap. Swapping indexes and putting it up in the sex. I can take profit right now. OnChain is where I be now. You can never look back. They don't want you to know. How did the market react? Fear and greed gotta adapt. Now we bridging the tokens and marching the network right now. You know how crazy we are. Nookies are savages now. They know how crazy we are. Chain abstraction, main attraction. OnChain Revolution.